7 FM. Now here are your hosts, Peter and CJ.
Yeah, everybody, welcome. Look at what we got here. Would you just look at what we got here?
Would you look at it?
My goodness gracious. Welcome in. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Here in the Family Leisure Studios. My name is Peter Edmiston. And normally this is where I would say, here's CJ Hurd, and he would say, hey, everybody. But CJ's not here today. So you will notice that little different composition of the crew today. We got Zach, and we're going to get to Zach in just a second, I promise you. But I got to welcome in my pal, Gabe Kuhn, who has stepped in. You know Gabe, of course, from Middays and Johnny Radio's Happiest of Happy Hours.
How are we?
Is that what we call the show? The Happiest of Happy Hours?
Happiest of Happy Hours.
Does it feel that way to you? How it's early. It's early in the morning for you, Gabe.
Yeah, man. I got the crust in my eyes still.
Normally, this is your workout time, right? Normally, you're out there
absolutely
just pumping it. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I didn't mean to interrupt the getting the beef.
I see
working.
that's afternoon. That's afternoon when I get beefy.
What's the day? What day are we working today? What are we working today?
See, I don't know, man. I'm just thinking maybe a little back. Maybe a little back. What do you think?
Back days.
Is my back big enough?
I
need to beef it up.
I think you could. I gotta tell you, you've done a great job of transitioning your body from football beefy to regular guy beefy.
I want to be less beefy.
But you're not gonna. You're always gonna be beefy, Gabe.
Yeah, I know. Look,
it's inevitable.
I want to be big, right? But I want to be under 295 pounds. I want to be under that. I want to be.
You're over 295 right now?
Well, no, I'm probably right at it. But
you don't look
I want to get to a point. I want to get to a point where I wake up and my knees don't scream. You know what I mean?
Well, now
knees,
that is different there. I think what you need to do there is yoga.
Oh, okay.
I think yoga is where your
could
your
you
action
could
is
you
right
could you refer me?
Absolutely. I got a couple of videos and things you can do.
Okay. Zach, you strike me as a yoga guy.
Zach's for sure a yoga guy.
Pilates too.
Zach's all kinds of guys over here. We're like I said, we're getting to Zach in a second. Gabe's in, which I appreciate. CJ's out for the day. Coming up, we're gonna have a fun show for you. We got our pal Adam Kramer coming up, talk a little college football and other stuff. There's plenty of college football controversies to get to. We'll do that 8:00, 9:00. Kari Thompson's we'll talk preps. We'll talk all kinds of fun stuff with Kari. That's 9:00 on the program. You can always get in touch with us here in the Family Leisure Studios. We love hearing from you. 67129 on the text line. 67129 on the text line. Many of you have already texted in, and I appreciate that. Always hooking me up with the latest and greatest from our pal Zach. So if you want to send in your Zach verses, now is the time to do that. 67129. On the text line. You can also dial up 360-8255 on the First Bank phone lines. We'd love to hear from you throughout. But yes, as promised, we have to welcome to the program Rack City's finest. Gabe, you know how this works? I don't know if you know how this works. You may not have been up early enough to hear this.
Okay.
Zach always gets his introduction.
Okay.
And it's a very special introduction because Zach is a very special guy.
Absolutely.
Zach is...
How special are we talking?
Oh. Well, Zach is of course, Deacon Stacks, we call him, because he's stacking that money all the way to the ceiling. And he is, in fact, a deacon. That's true. I don't know if it's been an official ordainment or
what'd
whatever.
you tweet last night? The Baron?
He's the Baron and not Sharon.
The Baron and
He's
not
the Prince of
Sharon.
Whitehaven. He's the king of somebody else's bling.
Okay.
He's the Duke of the Cucumber. He's this is who he is.
The Duke of the Cucumber.
That's right. He's got more Dragon Balls than Roku, looking up veggie recipes on his Roku.
Okay.
He's always smiling, but in his mind, to get that money, he's wilding.
So y'all just drop verses for him.
We drop verses.
Okay.
Improv in your brain. You got to come up with it. We're just and then the texters send in verses of their own to share. We've had verses all week from the texters as well.
Okay.
So if you just want to,
if I feel like I
feel
have
inspired,
a bar that I need to drop,
you have to remember the bars typically involve Zach being vegetarian,
Okay.
and wealthy, which he is,
Okay.
and he doesn't like to share. And
The parent not sharing.
that's Zach right there. He's like Scrooge McDuck, and he doesn't give a.
Oh gosh, who came up with the cucumber one?
That's me.
Oh, that was good.
That's me.
That's good stuff.
That's me. The good verses I came up with, the bad ones CJ came up with. That's how this works. If you like it, it was mine. If you don't, it was CJ's.
You ever seen Wild 'N Out?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that would absolutely get a point.
Texter says he loves the Lord and the money he hoards. 67129. Yeah. Keep them coming in. Another texter says, good morning to the talented Gabe and the amazing Peter. Thank you, texter. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
That comes from, is that your number, Gabe?
It might be.
I don't know how you can
Might be.
text the show and be on the show. That's impressive. Thank you, texter. Appreciate that. He is, of course, Rack City's finest, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Zach Boyd.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up, Zach?
It's Friday, you guys.
I'm seeing you.
I know,
It's
right?
nice.
In
It's nice.
person.
It's nice. That's nice. I'm happy to be
Zach,
here.
this is the first time I've heard your introduction, man.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed.
It's special. Some mornings it goes like 5-10 extra minutes. So we just people start we just start really feeling it.
I just don't have any. See, if y'all would have prepped me.
It's-
They can't. They have to be. They have to
Yeah,
be
you can't
non-prep
prep.
bars.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because sometimes the bars, and sometimes CJ, typically it's CJ, to be honest, gets out over his skis a little bit and starts that bar with like he eats a lot of vegetables and it's like, oh God, where do I go from here? I don't know. Vegetables? No, that doesn't work. Yeah. So anyway, now you know this is how it works. Zach, how are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling really good. I'm glad it's Friday. Get some actual rest. I actually pulled a CJ mentioning CJ.
Uh-oh.
I pulled a CJ.
Uh-oh.
Because
That can mean lots of different things in different contexts. Depending on, I don't know what that means.
Because yesterday I went over to my grandmother's house to cut her grass and washed her car.
Well, that does not sound like CJ's. I can tell you
No.
that right out of the gate. That does not sound like
Not
CJ's.
at all. Not at all.
So,
when I got home, I went to sleep like around 6 or 7. I woke up at 12 o'clock in the morning,
woo.
and I've been up ever since.
Uh-oh. So you've been up from midnight on?
Yes.
Well, I noticed you sent a text or a tweet or something. I don't know, you texted me or emailed or something at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning or something like that. I was like, what? You sent something. I don't know.
Today?
Yeah, I think so. I saw a timestamp from you pretty early in the morning.
No, I didn't send no emails.
I don't know what it was. I got to check it out. I got to check my
So
phone.
you don't sleep and then don't drink the caffeine in the morning.
No.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I mean, truly impressive.
Well, cause I think naturally when I sleep, I regain my energy, and so
like most people.
right, like a lot of people. So when I wake up, it's just.
This is
I
not
just go.
It's usually what you're trying to do. That's the goal when you sleep.
That is not unique to you. I don't want to burst your bubble. I mean, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. That's cool, but that's not unique.
Oh gosh.
So when you sleep, you regain your energy like a superhero.
Yeah.
Everyone said, the best time to send an email too. The best time, 3 a.m. That's what I hear from everybody.
Those are always good emails. Usually, generally, what happens when I sleep, I lose my energy. So that's weird. I got to work on that. I wake up less rested.
Yeah. That happened to me several times.
Oh, see, that's your problem right there.
That happened to me
That's your problem
several
right there.
times.
You gotta flip that switch. You gotta do the flip the rested switch to the other way, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Just a little bit of that is I wake up, I stay up, but then I can't go to sleep, and so then that's like I'm in limbo because it's like, oh, it's 1 o'clock. I might as well.
What are you up to? What kind of shenanigans are you up to? Why can't you sleep? I mean,
You're
not
Video game guy, maybe?
You don't have any caffeine in your system. You don't have any meat in your system. Sometimes you wake up with a meat sweats. That
yeah.
definitely is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta. That'll get you sometimes. After a big holiday, especially, you hit that grill and you got some ribs and some wings and some
I'm salivating stuff.
Oh, it's beautiful, but there is a downside. A few hours later, sometimes you. Oh man. Okay. Woo! Got to wake up. The old tum tum is acting up a little bit. That happens sometimes. But anyway, you don't have to worry about that, Zach. So I don't know what you're doing up in the middle of the night. What kind of shenanigans? You play video games?
No, well, I watch video games.
You watch video games?
I watch
But
them.
you don't play.
I don't play them. I played like the only game that I actually played is Madden, but everything else I kind of just watch.
You just watch people play.
I watch people play video games. Like
That's a new
like
new
on
thing.
Twitch?
Yeah, I was say Twitch is a
YouTube.
new thing.
YouTube?
YouTube.
Oh.
What
Okay.
game do you watch them play?
So
Why do you like watching someone play as opposed to playing?
I prefer the commentary more so than the game because the game is kind of like meh, but if the commentary is like really good, then it's like okay, like I could get behind with. So like today is the release of The Last of Us 2, which is like a huge it's a huge game because 7 years ago they dropped the first one and it like exploded in the gaming community.
It's a big deal. I remember.
Big deal.
It's a big deal. This one's a big deal.
Big deal. So this
I've heard it's, kind of.
So yeah, so this is part 2 of that. It's a zombie apocalyptic type of game.
You got it. You're on your game.
The only problem I have with it is scare the hell out of me.
It would.
That
Plenty
game
of jump
scares the
scares.
hell out of me.
Yeah.
Like
You
I
have
like
one little flashlight and it's like pitch black, and the rest and there's a bunch of zombies attacking.
Zombies, they turned into like some weird plant combination.
Real
thing,
jumpy game.
I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't. This is. I don't like those kinds of games. I don't like the kind of movies. I don't need to be scared. I'm good.
video game like video game jump scares is cool because I know that it's going to happen. I know it's going to be expected. Because you can I guess you have a sense of the storyline once it kind of builds, once it starts building. But
Feel.
yeah, there's a feel to it.
It's coming.
Unlike
That kind of thing. Right. Boo. See, that's where they get you right there. I got you. Well, I've heard mixed reviews of The Last of Us 2, so I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that out there. I don't know. I'm more of a play the game. I'm more of a play and just kind of let it happen the way it is. Yeah, that's me.
I like the free games.
Gabe seems like a free game.
I'm a free game type of guy.
I do the free game sometimes. I do the free game sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like on the iPad or something, like on the phone, maybe like your little. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you play? Was it Doodle Jump?
I have played Doodle Jump before. I played. We got a little Crush 'Em All. We got a little. What did we used to play? Dragon City. My son was really into that for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, a few of those games. They're always trying to upsell you stuff.
Yeah.
Always. Click this for the thing. Get the $5. No, stop it.
That's what all the ads are nowadays.
I don't mind. I don't mind paying a little bit for it. I don't mind paying a little bit for somebody. Somebody's work. But let's not go crazy here. Well, that's Zach, and this is why we love Zach. Because Zach, you just never know what Zach's going to bring to the table any given morning. It could be any number of things.
We learned this morning that when he sleeps, he gets rested.
We've learned this is a unique Zach quality right there.
It's impressive.
So Gabe is in, and I appreciate Gabe stepping in. And that's the Gabe. I sent a little message to Gabe earlier in the week, and he's like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm into it. I'm ready to go. And that's the kind of attitude I appreciate.
Go getter.
You are a go getter. But one thing that you got to learn. We got to pace yourself. It's early in the morning, so I don't want you to don't give it all up yet. Save some for as we go. Okay. Hour number 2, hour number 3. It continues. But we have a lot. We have a lot on the table. We have a lot on the table. As we talked about, the continued returns of these various sports have been complicated and difficult, and every day there's something new. College, in particular, is becoming more and more problematic. We saw yesterday Texas, 13 players testing positive at the University of Texas, another 10 quarantined as a result of the contact tracing that they did to realize that they had some level of contact with those 13. And we've seen other programs. Houston had 6. Bama had some undisclosed number. There have been programs that have been dealing with it.
Kansas State at 8.
Kansas State at 8. I mean, that's not necessarily unexpected, Gabe. Like when guys come in and get tested, I mean, just as a percentage of the community at large, you would expect a certain number to be positive. 13's a lot, though. 13's a lot with an extra 10. That's you're talking about 27% of your roster in some form. Now we're in a little bit of a concern here.
See, I think the concerning thing is like K-State. They had one guy at first who showed up late, and he ended up having it. Mm-hmm. And then, was it 3 days later, on Thursday, they had 8. So I mean, the And I will tell you from experience, a football locker room is a breeding ground for catching anything. Viruses, pink eye, I don't care what
Ringworm.
it is. It goes around so fast, and you can't really stop it because of how close these guys are in the locker room.
Everyone's, showering together, changing clothes, sharing each other's clothes, hugging constantly, lots of high fives.
Not much of a bubble.
Just, all kinds of just crazy stuff. Rex Ryan in there looking at feet. You just got all kinds of stuff out there that's problematic, and so that's difficult in any locker room to keep it. What? That's what he does.
Look, if Rex Ryan,
that's what he's into. I don't know.
If Rex Ryan walked into a locker room, all right, and just sat down, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. No chance I'm staying in said locker room.
No, you got to cover up those feet at the very least. You got to put sandals, shoes. You got to do all that. You got to cover up big time. And the one thing I've noticed,
shoes.
the
shoes with the toes.
Oh yeah,
you ever seen those?
Closed shower shoes is you got to have all the Crocs with the little holes or something.
I appreciate the ones with the toes, the toed ones.
Oh yeah, the toed ones. Yeah, those are I love those. I used to I had toed shoes for running. I would run in barefoot shoes. It was great. Very, very excellent.
Are they comfortable?
Yeah.
Really?
It is. You have to be a little careful with some of the pavement. It might, but it toughens up your feet.
Okay.
I'm flat-footed too, which makes it hard
okay.
sometimes to find the shoes and all that stuff. My arches are non-existent, so I put a lot of strain on the calves, and I have huge calves.
Is it
that's
bad or
problematic
good not to have an arch?
I think it's bad. Arch is good. The arch gives you more,
a little power on the foot.
A little power off the
spring.
foot, a little more spring. Yeah, I got no spring. And it helps the muscles it keeps them in line a little easier. I put a little extra pressure on some of the musculature. And as we talked about before, I have enormous calves. I have just unbelievable calf muscles. So it's difficult to deal with all that. It's hard.
I wonder if Rex Ryan appreciates the arch or no arch.
Oh, I think he wants arch. I think he
needs
arch.
He needs the arch.
I think the curve, that sweet, sexy curvature, I think is what he's into. The sweet curves of a velvety foot, I think is
velvety
gets him
velvety skin.
Gets him going. Yes, locker rooms are nasty, and as you go, the higher up in the food chain football wise you go, the nicer the locker room is. Just like any other sport, really. Like a high school locker room is an absolute trash pit, just disgusting, filthy, nasty, smells like pads that have been sweated in for days and days because that's what it is. Hygiene is non-existent. It's just, I mean, ugh. When you walk in that locker room, and I'll never forget doing interviews early on in my career in high school locker rooms, and you would talk to the coach or whatever, getting ready for games, and coach is just munching down on a meatball sub, and it smells like somebody's armpit. And I don't know how you can eat in this. And the coach has no idea. He has no idea. He's been used to it. He's been working in this environment for weeks. It doesn't matter. He's just, oh man, this is great. I'm about to throw up watching this. This is disgusting.
It's got that half Axe body spray, half body odor
dumpster
smell going on.
Right.
No question. But once you get to college, it's a little better. But any level of football, it's just filth in the locker room, and guys are way too close to each other. And
you got dozens of dudes in this little environment, and they're big guys.
It's a good move by Texas to at least, get those other 10 guys that were in contact out of the way as well. As they might not have it, but as a precaution. But when you have 13 guys, you saw Houston. What was it? Earlier this week, cancel after 6. Mm-hmm. They canceled the whole program, right? So I was wondering why Texas didn't go that route, at least for maybe a month or a few weeks here, because 13 guys, I mean, that could go around very fast, and there's no telling how long those guys are going to have to be out, because by all accounts, this thing will keep you out for a good 2 weeks, and you have to have 3 days where you're showing no symptoms, 3 days. It's got to be after you test negative again.
You have to have multiple negative tests. Then you have to have, and then there's a lady. There's a story about I saw yesterday about a lady in Dallas who had it, and then 4 months later is tested positive again because she didn't. They think she didn't clear it out of her system. Possibly, they're not sure. They don't think she reacquired it necessarily, but they think she didn't quite clear it out of the system or something like that. it goes to show we really don't know.
We don't know.
And we don't know. We honestly don't know about the long-term effects of this thing either. That's the more concerning, scary thing for athletes' perspective. Like initially, most of the folks who get it are not going to be hospitalized. You may have moderate symptoms, but you'll probably be okay. It may be tougher than others, but you probably won't be hospitalized. You probably won't end up in the ICU and all that. I mean, obviously, if you have a comorbidity or something like that, then that's a different issue for you. But what they've seen is that sometimes people who are asymptomatic or who whatever had happened ended up with lung issues or with other issues weeks and months later.
Yeah.
There was a study in Germany of the divers, deep sea divers, who ended up with moderate symptoms at the time, and then they recovered. But once they recovered, they went back and the lung function was impaired, and they were not cleared to dive again. They could not dive. So that's stuff like that. Even with a football player, you think, okay, I got it, no big deal, I'm good to go. When you need all of your lung function and you can't, maybe you go down to 85% as opposed to 100%, or maybe 75%. That makes a huge difference, man, when you're playing a game.
Absolutely. It's a misconception of these young football players that are athletic. They've been working out for years and years. It's a misconception that they're not going to be affected. The difference is they might not die.
Right.
That's a complete difference, but they are affected completely. You listen to Von Miller. Go listen to what Von Miller has to say about catching coronavirus and what he is doing right now to get over it. I mean, he has said on multiple occasions his lung capacity isn't even close to what it was before. And getting those deep breaths during conditioning, trying to, get through the 13-play drive, that's going to be really tough for these guys to come back from. That's just the truth of the matter. It's not about if they're going to end up hospitalized or not.
Right.
It's about what they're going to have to do to rehab to get better after the fact.
And will they get better? And we don't know that. We don't know what that looks like. We don't know if you recover fully. We just don't know. Again, these are all. It's not something to play with. You don't. I think some people feel like you get it, no big deal. You get over it and you're fine. That's not necessarily the case. And we're different people have different reactions, but we're seeing that in a lot of folks, younger folks, very healthy folks. Von Miller's a good example. Hard to find someone younger and healthier than that guy, and he's got hit with a sledgehammer.
And not to mention, it's a lot of guys who, when you look at the sport of football, that are heavy, that probably have high blood pressure because they're big. That I know a lot of guys I played with had asthma. There is predetermined things that will make them more susceptible to being affected by coronavirus. It's
no
just
question
what it is, and that is one of the misconceptions I've seen a lot is, they're 18 to 22. Statistically, they're not going to be affected. Well, why would we take the chance on them being affected with something we don't know about fully yet? And I think people need to grasp that more and more as we get closer to the season.
I think that's exactly it, and we'll see. But it's certainly causing some issues going forward. That's one issue in college football. When we return, another issue that continues, the issue of racism from a coaching standpoint, racism from a symbolic standpoint down the state of Mississippi, and elsewhere. It is becoming a bigger and bigger discussion, as it should be, and we'll talk about it next. Gabe Kuhn is in for CJ Hurt. I am Peter Edmiston, and of course, who's producing the program, Rack City's own Zach Boyd. We'll take that break. We'll come back in the Family Leisure Studios. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Check out Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 96.1 FM and 87.7 FM.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Central Barbecue is committed to the health and safety of this community, who has supported Central for almost 20 years. Central Barbecue is still open for business with to-go and delivery options to serve the greater Memphis area with the same great barbecue you have come to know and love. With 4 locations to serve you, from downtown, midtown, and East Memphis, you can order your favorite barbecue and enjoy everything on the menu in the comfort of your own home. Call your nearest Central Barbecue location for more information on delivery and to-go options today.
This is Eli Savoy from Sports 56 Middays. Join Greg and me as we hit the road again. That's right, we've been locked up too long, so we'll head to Frontier Western Store on Goodman Road in Olive Branch this Friday from 10 to 1. Come join us as we'll have all types of prizes and giveaways, as well as lunch catered by Moe's Southwest Grill. What a great place to get that special gift for a special dad with Father's Day on Sunday. We'll see you Friday from 10 to 1 at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, as we hit the road again.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
It's a funky Friday. Gabe, did you know that it's a Funky Friday?
Of course, man. How could I forget?
Just making sure.
You forget I did produce for what was it? Two weeks? 2 good weeks?
I don't remember what you may have learned or didn't learn. I don't know. I'm not assuming anything.
And I just remember trying to play funk, and y'all kept telling me what I was playing was not indeed funk.
What's your favorite kind of music, Gabe?
I would say absolute 90s hip hop.
Okay.
Rap.
All right. Okay.
I'd say that. But I
Naughty
look,
by Nature?
Naughty by Nature.
Yeah, okay.
Little Tupac, little Biggie. What else we got? Ice Cube.
Certainly.
Was nice.
You say what about like Juvenile?
Little
the
Juvenile.
Cash Money crew.
Yeah, of course.
Outkast, I hope.
Yes,
certainly.
sir.
Memphis rap.
See,
You're not a Memphis guy.
3-6. No, I like 3-6.
I mean, you obviously went to Memphis, but I mean, you're not from
Juicy
Memphis.
J is
Okay.
all right,
All right.
but see, like Project Pat, I never really got into. I don't know. That's a big Memphis. That's a big Memphis one.
It's a big Memphis one.
Huge
so
Memphis one.
Who was in the locker room? Like, how did you control the music? Was there one
How
music?
did I control? Do you think I controlled the music?
But I'm saying
in the
who
locker
controlled. No,
room?
I'm saying how was the music controlled?
Oh, there's a system.
Yeah, but who controls it? How's that work?
Whoever decides to hook their phone up at a given
So
time.
who gets the aux? Is what I'm saying. Who gets the aux? How do you control that? Because you got dozens of people. You can't. No one can agree.
It
on
has
everything.
to be someone with clout in the locker room, probably a starter, preferably. Usually not someone on offensive line or defensive line. You're looking at a skill player with clout. That's what it is. That's what happens.
So that's like your quarterbacks, your wide receivers, your running backs. They're the ones that are going to control the aux.
Absolutely.
Why is
Absolutely.
that? Those guys can't do anything without y'all.
Yeah, but we're just. I mean, I don't know. We don't have as much clout. Again, I go back to this clout word.
You're just accepting your lot in life. I don't. I mean, I don't approve, man. You gotta stand up.
You gotta want more for yourself.
You gotta want more, man.
gotta
Come
want
on.
more.
You gotta believe in yourself, Gabe.
See, I do, but I did not trust myself on the aux. No, but as far as like what I listen to,
there's pressure on the aux.
What I listen to, I'll go anywhere. I mean, I can go from you. If you hear the top 5 songs on middays, I go from bluegrass to hip hop to pop. To
I've heard your top
indie
5s
to anything.
You and Zach, Zach can hit us.
Eclectic is what they would call it, right?
Zach can hit us with all over the place. Absolutely, an eclectic mix. You never know with Zach. You never know what Zach's going to hit us with musically. He's all over the place. All right, so we mentioned the challenges in the college football world, and there are many. Will we play? Probably. I think it's looking like there'll be some sort of activity going on. Will there be fans? Maybe to a degree. Will the full fans? No, I don't believe so. But on top of all that, Gabe, we're trying to work everything else out.
Yep.
You have controversies on the side. You've had Mike Gundy. That thing continues to just kind of roll on. And I don't know. A
lot of people want him out, man. That's just how that's going to work until we get to just from the outside looking in. It's one of those situations where he has had a lot of these things happen in the past, and I watched even Paul Feinbaum talk about it. It's just he has embarrassed Oklahoma State several times and has not paid any repercussions for them. And not to mention, he's been a good coach. He hadn't been an overly great coach. He's 2-13 against the in-state rival. I think people are tired of that too. But overall, I think eventually this is going to be something that might force him out.
I mean, the other thing, T. Boone Pickens has passed away. So, I don't know what the influence of, the power structure is. I know they had their friction. But, anytime there's this longstanding thing, you go back to the Alfred Williams allegations and the fact that, at the time there were contemporaneous, corroborations of the story. And weeks later, there were still people saying, in 1989, like this guy said, there was one player who said that he said the N-word multiple occasions on the field, said he'd never heard anything quite like it. And then that just sort of, went away. I think there were only four black players on Oklahoma State's starting group in that year, which is in 1989, which obviously is quite a bit different now.
And obviously, 19-year-old Mike Gundy is going to deny that.
Yes,
completely.
Yes, completely. As any.
And now, I think, however old he is now, 40,
51, I believe.
50. Really, he's 50.
So, yeah.
With a mullet at 50. That is not common anymore.
Not
common at all. But 50-year-old Mike Gundy's going to deny it even more. This is something that just resurfaced. Obviously, it's not like it's known. It's a known thing. And the one thing that I will say about the whole Alfred Williams situation is it would be a very, very bizarre thing to lie about in that situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, it would be a bizarre thing to lie about. It'd be a bizarre thing to still be lying about 30 years later. It doesn't make any sense for him to do it. There's no reason for him to do it. He's had his own career. He's a college football Hall of Famer. He was an NFL. He's a Pro Bowler. He won a Super Bowl. He's had a illustrious career of his own. He has no reason to worry about Mike Gundy one way or the other than just in this discussion. And when Gundy's had this previous history, and then that to me adds a different context to the shirt and to what the shirt and what the network stands for and what they feel, how they feel about black people and Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. That adds a whole different context to it. I mean, I find it hard to believe you would just be dumbfounded if he's already admitted months ago that he watches the thing.
Yeah.
So the shirt is not like it just came out of nowhere.
And not to mention he caught flack then for it.
Well, yeah. But it was more like goofy flack as opposed to like racial like.
You're like how does he actually believe that that's
right?
biased?
No one took that to that next level of okay, does he share the same belief about Black Lives Matter? Does he share the same belief? All that people weren't taking it to that level. Now they are, and now you go back and explore those situations. It is hard to imagine that he's standing on firm ground in that locker room with all those guys. That seems unusual. Then you take the next step, and Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, has threatened. There was a statement yesterday, threatened not to host any future conference championship events of any kind in the state of Mississippi until the state changes its flag. It is the only state that still has the Confederate battle flag symbol as part of its flag. That is the symbol that is the most known to be problematic, although there are other Confederate symbols that are on other flags in the South that have been modified slightly and do not draw as much obvious immediate attention as the Confederate battle flag. But the one in Mississippi, now it's not as if Mississippi is hosting tons and tons of championship events. They haven't had one in 4 years. But this is another example. There are students, athletes at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, other schools that are making this push to the legislature in Mississippi. I know Ole Miss, as I think, would like to see this happen from a university standpoint. I would presume Mississippi State as well. Mike Leach had a tweet last night that made no sense at all. Just a word salad. I represent people. I want people to talk or something. It was nonsense. Does this push it over the edge, Gabe? Does this make the change?
Well, judging by the fact the SEC, Mississippi State, and Mississippi all have said, hey, we need to change this. This is something that needs to change. But I think this is something that could push it over the edge and get it changed, because you look at, what was it, Georgia in 2001 had the same thing going on. But they switched it basically to another symbol.
Right. They switched it to another variant of the actual Confederate.
So I think there's
flag.
other things. Yeah. It's not just Mississippi, right, as far as flags go.
Right.
I think that's an interesting point to be made here. Do I think that it's going to have to change for just Mississippi as a state and their colleges in their state to move on from this? Like, they have to change the flag to be able to move on. And I think that's going to happen. But we also need to hold other people accountable as well.
Agreed. But in particular, I think it would be foolish not to note the extremely obvious divisiveness from that particular symbol. There are other symbols. There are other
Absolutely.
issues. Obviously, we've seen across the entire South and really the country, people like various Civil War figures, various figures in the Confederacy. Any statues like that are being taken down or being protested. Christopher Columbus and the atrocities that he was part of. That's now he's being taken down in certain areas, and so that's the climate. But that particular stars and bars
it's known.
It's known. Yeah,
and I think that's another thing you see on Twitter. A lot of people sort of talking about the Georgia State flag and asking people why aren't they holding that account, because people aren't as educated on that variant of the Confederate flag. So obviously you need to get the stars and bars thing out of here before we move on to that. That's just sort of
I think that, again, people adopt the symbolism that they want to adopt, and they warp it into whatever it is that they want to warp it into. I think that is a thinly veiled, kind of nod to the Confederacy, what Georgia did in 2001 to change its flag. There are a few. Again, there are other examples of that throughout the South, but they don't evoke the same kind of clinging to the symbol. They don't evoke the same kind of reaction, and that's part of it. I mean, that's part of it. And I think if you want to have the address of, we want to go after all these things, down to the very root of it, then I think I welcome that discussion. I think it'd be a great discussion to have. But in particular, we're talking about the symbolism that people embrace here, in the same way that we talked about with the swastika. Swastika used to be, prior to the early 20th century, swastika was just was another symbol. It was used in in Indian lore, in Japanese lore. It was a symbol of all kinds of different things. It didn't necessarily have any kind of specific symbol meaning. Well, guess what? That's changed. Now it has a very specific and very obvious. And if you want to walk around and say, well, no, actually, I'm referring to it back in the Japanese usage back in the 18th century. No, that ain't gonna work. That the symbol means something much more. And this symbol, no matter how you want to try to justify it, no matter how you want to try to bend it and manipulate it or whatever, it is unbelievably divisive. It is actively anti-black people. It is a message to black people in your state that you do not care about their feelings and how they were treated and what happened. You don't care, and it doesn't matter.
And you hide behind this sort of curtain of, oh, well, it's our history. We need to remember our history so we don't repeat it. No, there's a difference between remembering your history and celebrating your history.
Correct.
What you do every day by flying a flag like that is celebrate that history, and you don't find other countries celebrating such atrocities to citizens in their country. It just does not happen. So I think there needs to be a understanding, and for some people it won't come just truthfully in their lifetime, but we need to keep speaking out on these things to make sure that at some point we get there. At some point. Is that in our lifetimes? I don't know.
I think the Mississippi flag can be changed in our lifetimes for sure.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
It can be changed like now. I mean, that can be changed this year. That should be done already.
But I'm talking about the people that will cling on to the history and the symbolism of that flag. That's going to take a long time to
no, it's generational.
Root out.
It's generational, man. It's generational. It's just that is, but that's the fight that you have to continue to speak up on this stuff, and you have to continue and not to settle for whatever, not to let people hide behind that kind of a discussion, because that's not. If you want to celebrate your history, that is very important to do. You can do that in museums. You can do that in in academic environments. You can discuss these sorts of things. You want to remember what happened. You want to make note of it. Absolutely, there are plenty of places of learning and plenty of historical documentation of all the atrocities and various things that have happened in the world, good and bad. And that is important to remember and learn and grow from those
Remember,
things.
though.
No one is saying to wipe history away. No one is going to, I don't think, Gabe, correct me if I'm wrong, no one is going to, statue to statue downtown in various towns across the country to learn history. Statues are a different thing. Flags are a different thing. No one is saying, wow, I had no idea about the history until I looked at that flag. No, you learn history via history classes, via just talking to people, via reading books. And those symbols can all remain in those books and in those classes. But when it comes to flying them and when it comes to putting statues up, that's a different level.
When it comes to celebrating said history, that needs to be rooted out.
That's your public face of what you are trying to send the message to people. And what message are you sending when you fly a variant of the Confederate battle flag, or when you put a statue up of Nathan Bedford Forrest or Robert E. Lee or whatever? What message are you sending in particular to black people? I mean, come on.
And I think those people, at least at the very least, subconsciously know exactly what they're flying when they fly said flag. They know exactly. Even they can argue, oh, we're remembering history, we're dealing with our history, where my ancestors have been, but at the same time, they know exactly the symbolism that they're putting out.
If NASCAR can ban the Confederate flag, Mississippi can do the same thing. Come on, let's go. It's long past time. Jeez.
Yes.
When we come back, we'll talk about the other issues surrounding college football. Also, we'll get into the NBA a little bit. Adam Kramer coming up at 8:00 to talk to more CFB. So good bit of college football here, and Gabe is a baseball fan. I got more bad news for you, buddy. We'll talk about it when we return. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
This is Carl on his motorcycle.
Let's ride till we run out of gas.
And this is Carl off his motorcycle.
Balsa wood is very different than teak. People confuse the two.
On his motorcycle.
Hey, check out that view.
Off his motorcycle.
Let's do puzzles in the break room.
On.
Look at all that open road.
Off.
Look how long my fingernails are getting.
You're better on your bike. Progressive helps keep you on it. Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
At Advance Auto Parts, we take the guesswork out of your oil change. Get 5 quarts of full synthetic Mobil 1, Valvoline, Castrol Edge, or Pennzoil Platinum with a qualifying premium oil filter for $33.99. Plus, for Father's Day, visit AdvanceAutoParts.com and share your favorite garage moments with Dad for a chance to win an ultimate home garage makeover or other great prizes. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
Hey everybody, are we ready for some hot fun this summertime? Cause I'm out here in Olive Branch looking at all these new All-Star Chevy trucks. You've got more new Silverados out here than you'll find anywhere, and for a lot less. Some still have 0 interest for 84 months with GM financing or thousands in cash back for summer. If it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is where you want to be. Come drive one of the new Blazers or Suburbans, or just drive both. You can fall in love with more than one. Finance with GM and you could be payment-free all summer. And everybody at All-Star Chevy is excited about their pre-owned Chevy collection. It's huge. I'm looking at Tahoes, Malibus, Impalas, Suburbans. They have everything the new ones have, warranties and all, just thousands less. Remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. It's gotta be Olive Branch, people. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job: to make sure you get the best deal, have more fun, and in record time. So find new roads to Kraft Goodman Road in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
House. She's mighty, just letting it all hang out. She's a bread house. I like Lady Stack, that's a fact. Ain't holding nothing back. She's a bread
house.
You know this song, right?
Of course.
Okay.
How could I not?
I don't know. I don't know what you know. I'm not assuming that you know anything.
I don't know what you know.
I don't know what you know. I don't know about your life. Welcome in. Hour number 1, continuing Family Leisure Studios on a beautiful Friday. It is going to start to rain towards the end of the weekend, and then we're going to get some rain for a while, I think. So enjoy this weather.
Oh, really?
While you can. I believe so, yes.
Sunday. Okay, looking at Sunday.
You know, I got really excited.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
About
what?
Because just in general?
Well, what?
Because sleep gave you rest?
The sleep,
yes.
the sleep definitely. Like, I love the rain, but also, it may give us an opportunity to bring back Quiet Storm Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Quiet Storm Tuesday.
Ooh.
I am not in the loop, clearly
Gabe.
here.
Oh, Gabe. Quiet Storm Tuesday is the variant of Soft Rock Tuesday. Quiet Storm is sort of the if like smooth jazz and R&B and soft rock had a baby, it would be Quiet Storm.
Great.
Much
music.
like yacht rock is kind of classic rock and soft rock had a baby. There's a Venn diagram of sort of these variants.
It's in the very middle. It's in the middle.
Quiet Storm is kind of over here. Soft rock is the linchpin of the whole thing. Soft rock keeps the whole thing going. But you have Quiet Storm, you got yacht rock over here. You have some other variants. Quiet Storm is excellent.
But Quiet Storm's
like a Peebo Bryson, like a Luther Vandross.
But it crosses a lot of different categories.
Well, mostly soft rock, but with some smooth jazz and some R&B. Teddy Pendergrass.
Zach type of music.
Zach's loving it. Zach's loving it. Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't love? I mean, come on, man. Anita Baker is a great another. I mean, come on. Dionne Warwick. Smooth, wonderful, fantastic. It's good. It's good stuff. I'm watching some Korean baseball this morning.
Little Doosan Bears, little KC Dinos,
absolutely. Who doesn't love the?
What are they? The LC Dragons? I don't know.
LG. They're named after the
phone.
Yeah, like the electronics manufacturer. Yeah. Right. Same deal. Well, that may be the only baseball you're getting for a little while. It looked like baseball might have turned a corner yesterday. It looked like, okay, everyone's talking. Okay, maybe we've all realized Rob Manfred wants to meet with Tony Clark. Maybe we figured this thing out. We're acting like a bunch of idiots. Maybe we could just kind of stop being stupid and get this squared away. That'd be cool, right?
Why would you think that?
Just when you think baseball can't shoot himself in the foot. How many feet do they have? They've shot themselves in the foot so many times. They've run out of feet, I think. But here you go again. The Players Association proposed a 70-game regular season schedule. That plan was immediately rejected out of hand, not even just get out of here, by Rob Manfred representing the owners. It would have been a 70-game season from July 19th through September 30th, fully prorated pay, 50-50 split of incremental TV revenue. This would have applied for 2020 and 2021 because of the whole situation. Tony Clark said, this seems like a basic thing. We had a list of issues. Rob Manfred said yesterday this needs to be over. Well, you can make it over.
What I don't get is why is Rob Manfred just like, what is he like, executioner here? Like what? He didn't even bring it to the owners. He just said, nope, they're not going to take it.
He's
and not to mention, what are we talking about? We're talking about 10 games. 60 games is like perfect for them, but then 70 games, nope, out of the question.
Because they
can't do it. Nope.
You have the own again. I want this to be very clear with what's happening right now. The owners in baseball are arguing for less baseball. They want people, the fans, the players. They want fewer baseball games. This is the health of the league here that you're talking about, and because of the prorated nature of the salaries, to save a few $1 million, which these guys have,
a few pennies
up and down. You have. I mean, some of these owners. I mean, I realize that, like, for example, part of the Cubs ownership, the Ricketts family, Pete Ricketts, he's also the governor of Nebraska. Did you see what he did? Well, as opposed to figuring out this whole thing,
no.
He banned in Nebraska. He said that any locality that forced people to wear masks inside while doing state business or local business would not be allowed to take the coronavirus relief money that they had.
Excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
Masks keep becoming this political thing. It's
That's
not like
incredible.
it's like the
It's
least political thing I've ever seen.
It's just
if you want to wear a mask, wear a
science.
mask.
It's just science, and you need to be wearing masks. The evidence continues to just be overwhelmingly in favor of wearing masks. That's it. Just do it for somebody else. Do it for people that. But the fact that he would ban if you make people wear masks, you cannot get them like
what?
Where you're actively just
spitting in science's face.
So anyway,
he knows better than the scientist, though.
Yeah, this
Clearly,
is what we're dealing with. This is what I'm saying. This is the kind of negotiation you're trying to have. You're trying to negotiate with this kind of a person. What are you supposed to do? I don't know. We'll talk to Adam Kramer about it. He's a baseball guy. He's hurting too. He's also a college football guy. Lots of college football to discuss, as we've already done in hour number 1. Gabe Kuhn with us here on this Juneteenth. I'm Peter. Zach Boyd doing his thing. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
It's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale. For a limited time only, trade in your old clubs and receive a 50% bonus towards inline Callaway or Odyssey Stroke Lab products. All Nike, Adidas, Puma, and Under Armour apparel is now 25% off. Check out the Bushnell Tour V5 rangefinder, which measures up to 400 yards to the flag. And introducing Bushnell's Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale going on now. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkhammer for Sunrise Chevy. Good news for new and used car and truck buyers. The Sunrise Chevy Ranch has a great selection of new and used cars and trucks, rebates up to $6,500, and interest rates low as 0%. At sunrisememphis.com, you can select your vehicle, get your trade appraised, arrange financing and delivery. We'll deliver right to your doorstep, disinfected and ready to go. No matter what your past credit, Sunrise wants to get you financed. Immediate financing with next to nothing down. Need service or body work? Bring it to Sunrise or schedule an appointment online. Find new roads to Sunrise Chevy, 385 in Houston Levy, Collierville.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Lemon Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Lemon Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselemonbrace.com.
Dedicated our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gifts for Dad. From now until Father's Day, you'll save big on the classic Carhartt K87 short sleeve tee. Get 2 for $25. Frontier carries every color they make, including this year's brand new colors. All sizes are in stock and on sale, small to 4X. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off too. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains, and has a relaxed fit. giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force at 25% off. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Wrangler, Carhartt, and Ariat. Every pair of khakis, jeans, dungarees, and even FR workwear, $5 off. All Carhartt shorts are 25% off, too. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontier has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me for Sidelines, Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1 FM. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, recruiting. Hey, if they keep score, we're covering it. Check us out on the website at sports56whbq.com and sidelines.live. Sidelines is brought to you by Duncan Williams Asset Management. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Get up and give us a call.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and C.J. Hurt. Here once again are Peter and C.J.
Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me.
It's a great question.
Do it if you really don't want to dance by standing.
How you gonna do it if you really don't want to dance?
Get your back up off the wall.
Come on, Gabe. He's talking to you.
What are you talking about?
He's talking to you, man.
I'm not the one.
Get your back up off the wall. Are you out there? Are you out there?
I'm out on the dance floor.
Are you on the dance floor?
Absolutely.
What you doing? What's your move? That move right there? This one? This were you shaking shaking the maracas?
I
don't know. You got
I'm showing
little
from
wiggle?
I'm showing from pectoral up. I don't have like a can't give you my footwork right now.
Oh, you got the
I got
feet?
the footwork.
Ooh.
Full footwork.
Oh, okay. Okay, you got a little.
What do you got?
Oh, come on. It's all happening. I got everything. What you need? What I got the robot. I got the microwave. I got the.
What's the microwave?
Come
on. What's a microwave?
You like this? You go.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, God.
Sometimes I do a variant of the popcorn. When you open the popcorn,
I will not be stealing that.
Come on, you open the popcorn. It's steam. Ooh, gotta watch out. See that kind of thing. You throw a little variation in there.
Hot.
Welcome back. Hi, Peter. That is Gabe Kuhn, who is in for C.J. Hurt. C.J. is off for today. Zach Boyd on the other side, doing his thing. Look at Zach. It's good.
Just look at him.
Just look at it. Just look at that. Look at that specimen of a man. The Deacon.
If you're listening on the radio, never mind. Do not. I don't think you can look at him.
No.
All you live streamers.
No, you. Oh yeah. No, you look. Just imagine him, and if you're listening on the radio, just imagine what he must look like.
Give a description.
He's resplendent. I mean, look at this guy. Although again, the hat is glued to the head. He will not. He's not gonna reveal that hair. I can see some of it kind of peeking out the back.
You haven't got a haircut yet, Zach.
I can see it peeking out the back.
Yeah, no, I haven't. No,
I can see it peeking out the back.
It's been since March.
My barbershop opened back up, so I got in there.
You got in there?
Yeah. I mean, but it's I was
Were you
glad
wearing masks?
they took measures. They gave me a mask while he cut until I had to get the beard, so it was kind of defeated the purpose.
Yeah,
when he cut the beard, it completely defeated the purpose of the mask.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I was one at a time.
All right.
One at a time. One at a time. He was wearing a face shield, had gloves on, obviously.
Does he normally cut two people at a time?
Long sleeves. No, I'm saying like there was no waiting room. The waiting room was my car.
Oh, okay.
That's the difference.
I thought your guys normally like doing multiple haircuts at once.
That would be. I would honestly pay more for that just to see how well he could get that done.
Well, you're looking sharp. Our buddy Adam Kramer. You got your hair cut, Kramer?
Yeah, I did. It was that was an experience. I'm a hat wearer by nature, right? Like I wear hats. I don't think I've worn a hat since. Like it's It's like my
freeing.
pride and hope, and you know, it's starting to get like a little long again now too. Not terribly long, obviously, but like I'm thinking about it. Like all of a sudden now I'm a haircut guy. That's
me and Zach are holding out. No haircuts for us as of yet. My hair is insane at this point. It's just ludicrous.
You know, it was, you know, with the online check-in, I remember trying to get it like those first few days, and it was like, you know, every time you'd look, it was like 180 minutes, like just minimum, right? To to do. And I lucked into like a quick one and in and out. Like the experience wasn't too bad, but yeah, you're going the other side in terms of pride. Right now, you're like you're committed. Like you're there.
Well, that's what I say. If you see my the Twitter profile picture, that's a good reflection of where my hair is right now. It's maybe even a touch bigger than that picture. So if you want to see it, it's
I think you should get some touch of gray, get the full skunk stripe.
I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. I'm not doing any dyeing of the hair. It's whatever's happening is happening. I'm not fighting it. It's just it's been going great for like 15 years now.
I don't want you to fight it. I want you to add more.
No. I'm not going to be like Elvira.
Lean into it.
I'm not going to be Elvira, for God's sake. What are you talking? It's not Halloween. Jeez Louise. No, we're not doing
little Cruella de Vil.
You're not doing Cruella de Vil. We're not doing what's her face, the Addams Family, Wednesday or Morticia. We're not doing any of that stuff. My other question is like you know, we've talked about this before, the difference between white barbershops and black barbershops. And I feel like it's easier at white barbershops to do more of a social distance situation, you know, more of a you know, because I think there's more camaraderie and more discussion that happens at the black barbershop. So I think there's maybe, I don't know if I'd have to get more correspondence on that, but I think that may be a concern. Is that a concern, Zach? Am I right in saying this might be more of a concern?
For what?
Social distancing, maintaining, because there's tend to be more congregation, more discussion, more collaboration going on.
Yeah, so the barbershop is like the staple for holding any type of conversations. Mm-hmm. Like any conversation that you want to have, you have it at the barbershop. So
how can you do that? It's difficult. I mean,
I know, I don't know. You just have a loudspeaker. I don't know. It's like, yeah, did you see LeBron today? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how that's gonna work.
I'd love to see that. That's just everyone in each individual barbershop down there. Yeah, you suck. Yeah. That's great because it's totally different. We've talked about that before. It's a totally different experience at the two haircut situations. Now, speaking of racial reconciliation or lack thereof, Adam, Mike Gundy. What's happening here? What in the world?
Man, what a week. By the way, if you're Iowa, who fired a strength coach, right? Like 5 hours earlier.
Yep.
That thing just went away.
Yep.
Like this is it. You handed off the baton. So, you know, all right. I don't know where. Let me start here. I did a story. I spent some time with Chuba Hubbard last year. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think to really understand this specific situation, you got to understand this kid is comes from Canada, comes from not much. Right. In fact, is setting up like a nonprofit. And this was a big part of the story. And I was floored by this. You know, breaks out in a year, setting up a nonprofit basically for underprivileged kids. OK, so even at the time before this happens, you can see the wheels spinning, right? He wants to help people. He wants to be, and granted, this had nothing to do with race. This is a kid who had some pretty difficult situations growing up that, you know, wanted to help some people. And I remember thinking of that, wow, I mean, this isn't a guy that we've been talking about for 3-4 years. It's a guy that kind of just burst onto the scene in 3 months and decided, I'm going to use my platform for good. So a little backdrop there. This is not it wasn't necessarily a surprise when he spoke out because you could hear it in his voice that he wanted to do something with this. This is Mike Gundy. Okay. This is who Mike Gundy is. He has forever kind of skirted on these very uncomfortable lines, not this uncomfortable, although I did see there's the question back in 1989, if he used a racial term, but Mike Gundy has always naturally found this controversy, discomfort, whether it's his job, whether it's something he says, but this is a new level. To not have this is where it stems from. Let's just simply saying to wear a T-shirt like this, if it is truly just the T-shirt, which it is not, by the way, when you feel what former players are alleging, this is beyond just a T-shirt. Maybe that's the really kind of frustrating part in here, because we don't have any sort of clue into what exactly they're saying. We know they're unhappy and problems, etc., but we know what they're saying. But to wear a T-shirt like this and not acknowledge what the issue is, or, I mean, that's the best case scenario, to not know that, hey, these people, this brand I'm wearing have said some pretty awful things. That's bad. But can we believe that? Should we believe that? Again, that's the best case scenario, and I don't really find it, that doesn't suit me. I don't think it should suit anybody. Like, so I'm it's frustrating here. And I'll say this also. I've talked to Mike Gundy a bunch of times. When I talk, I generally like talking to the guy. Like, I think he's insightful. I think he's done a good job. I think he cares about his players, or at least has shown me that he has to a degree. But there's always been this piece of him that just feels like you can't quite understand, you can't quite, establish. And this is, man, it's been a week. I mean, everybody. The other thing, how many apologies are we on now? The one that he read off the script
3,
was,
I believe, maybe 4.
The teleprompter one was.
Yeah, that was
awful.
That was not fun for. I watched the whole thing, and people giving him credit for it.
I know.
I guess you can say the right things, yes, but the way you say it and the way I can literally see your eyes moving across a screen while you're doing it. It does not send the right message.
It's like a hostage video.
I had the same thought, because people are like, "Now this is an apology." I'm like, "He's being held hostage
what are
here."
you talking about?
Not to mention it, I wonder who did Chuba write that for him?
Yeah, I didn't understand that too. I thought the words were fine, and I think he said some things. I mean, again, like all of this will be in the actions. But it felt scripted. It felt weird, and then you got to go back at it again. And again, it's getting back where I first was. Remember Iowa? That feels like it was 2 years ago, right? I mean, seriously, like this is how quickly this stuff is moving.
Well, it's I totally agree with you as far as the apology goes. It's very implausible to me that he wouldn't know the deeper situation, that he wouldn't have any idea what was going on. The fact that people let him skirt, we give these guys tremendous benefit of the doubt as far as all this stuff goes. The issue that I have. We use the term he cares about his players, and I think that probably to some degree he does, and the same stuff with Dabo and these other guys, Mike Leach, who've had other types. Caring about your players is one thing. Caring about them to the extent that they are beneficial to you, caring about them to the extent that they're beneficial to the team, all that stuff is cool. But at some point, Adam, to me, if you don't start addressing this stuff. Start addressing, taking an active and a proactive approach in rooting out these areas of racial conflict in your life. If you are consistently dealing with young black men and you don't do that, I don't think you can say with a straight face that you really care about them, because you're not really getting to the heart of what's going on. You can't have this double life of, okay, when I'm here at the locker room, I'm one of the guys and I'm with these fellas and hey, it's cool. But when I go home, I'm watching OAN and I'm in these Facebook groups and I'm talking about how much I hate this and that. You can't, that may have worked, years ago. That ain't going to work now.
And for years, we've kind of alluded to the last few weeks. That's the line for coaches, grooming these young men.
Right.
You can't say that. And now it's got to be different. Like it has to feel different than it is. But the part, again, I think too, it's not just a T-shirt. When you look at some of the former players that starred there saying, and I don't want to butcher the context of this because it's really important stuff, alluding to the fact that this is a trend, right? Mm-hmm. That this is the
similar
latest
to the Kirk
trend.
Ferentz kind of thing, like where there's
exactly
just a lot
enough
of,
is enough,
yeah,
right? Like, and that's the part that he sort of has just kind of danced around, I think, and probably understandably so, because I don't think there's going to be a ton of answers there. But no, I'm with you. I hope this is an awakening more than anything. Like, I guess the thing you hope from this, and we talked about it with Florida State and with Iowa, now here, this is 3 football programs that you hope that this disruption, and this is a good disruption, is going to lead to positive change. If it doesn't, that's a problem. But you've got 3 football programs, and maybe more than that. Who knows? This is just externally what we're seeing and what we're hearing that have been in this spotlight and have kind of vowed to change. I hope that's a positive. It's a shame that we have to be here talking about change, but I hope if there's any takeaway from this, that players can and will speak up. That's the other thing. I know Chuba, apologized, and I felt that, again, that was a little bit uncomfortable as well, seeing the African-American player apologize and the coach kind of sort of naturally PR his way around actually saying those words. Yeah, it was uncomfortable. But the power of the player, man, you take maybe the best running back in the country, and he says, you know what, I'm not playing. And holy cow, springs start falling out of the machine, world stops, explosions happen, right? Now it's just like a couple hours. Imagine somebody doing that before a game. Imagine somebody doing that before fall practice, right? I think.
Look at what happened with Missouri a few years ago.
Exactly. I just think in general, and I know we've got a specific focus, and these players are working on, one thing right now, but realizing just how much power they have, especially a guy like this, it's pretty remarkable. I think that's something that's going to carry over, I hope, here in the years ahead.
I just find it bizarre that people who are sort of protecting Mike Gundy at this point, which is very few, I will say, are trying to act like this is one of the first times he's done this. And I think there's been this thing in college football where you try to protect the coach from saying things that might upset these big donors. But I thought yesterday, did you see the comment from Texas linebacker Juwan Mitchell on Twitter?
I did not.
He
no,
said
I don't think so.
he made a comment saying people who want to create change don't care about how much money can be lost, don't care about who hates them or any bad outcomes that may happen. The only thing on your mind should be equality. And I think this is just that's one of the things with college football that we've seen for so long is you try to these coaches try to tread so lightly, especially in these matters of social justice and Black Lives Matter, because they don't want to upset the big donors that are donating to them. And I think that's something that we need to try and root out of college football sooner than later.
Well, there's also this component. You're absolutely right. Money is the backdrop of all of this. I mean, donors is a huge part of it. And then the other part, obviously, is the fact that, these players, Chuba is not being paid, right? So you've got this system that is fragile to begin with. Yep. I think that's putting it mildly, right?
Yes.
A system that is on the verge of toppling over, quite honestly. And then you inject these issues to it, and forever there has been the donors move this thing. They'll decide who the coach is. They'll pay that coach's buyout if they don't want him there. Like that, there's a lot of behind-the-curtain stuff that we don't necessarily talk about, but those people with money have influence. The coaches, Mike Gundy, who makes what? I mean, gosh, gets a contract extension and a raise every 2 years when he flirts with leaving.
He has a floating 5-year deal. Every year it just rolls over to 5 years.
How about Kirk? Every time he wins 7 games, he gets a 1-year extension.
You've got 4, 5, 6. Gundy, I think upwards of like $6 million, right? And then the players who are making nothing. Well, that's up for debate, I guess, right? We won't go there.
Not supposed to be.
The debates. So I think that's a big part of it too. It's not like the NFL, right? The NFL's got its own quote unquote issues where you're wondering, are the ratings going to go down if players kneel again, right? As ridiculous as that sounds now, this is the real foundation of your sport. It is built on some people having a ton of money and a huge, huge portion of your people, the people that actually make this thing happen, having nothing. That's that is a big part of this as well.
Well, and what's amplifying that discrepancy even more, Adam, is the fact that as these guys come back to campus, we are seeing. We talked about 13 Texas players tested positive for COVID-19. Another 10 are under some sort of a quarantine situation right now. You had 8 at K-State. You had 6 at Houston. They shut the whole thing down. You have a couple at Washington coming in, or a couple of Michigan. Excuse me. Washington had 0, which is good for them. But everywhere you go, it seems like you're getting more and more of this, and it's going to continue. And as players return, they are asked to sign some sort of a waiver in most places. Ohio State had their waiver. Tennessee has got one out there. Most schools are going to have one. So to me, this is what is going to end up toppling this whole thing eventually is how can you ask these players whom you are not paying, and you've got this sort of perfunctory Marco Rubio name, image, likeness thing, which is just kind of, I think, kind of a canard and a way to get more legislation and more jurisdictional control from NCAA over all this. How can you ask these guys to assume even more risk and even more danger while simultaneously not paying them and then potentially not listening to their concerns of concern about racial inequities and inequalities going on in their program? This just can't last. It's not going to work.
No, actually, it made me think. I go into my office, right? I'm signing one of those.
Mm-hmm. But you're working. You're getting paid. You're an employee.
Exactly. And I get it. Like you're going to have to. I'm assuming the liability. I'm signing my name here because if not, everybody's going to sue anybody, and it's probably going to happen anyways. But I'm getting paid for it. My risk. I know my risks, right? And you could argue the players do too, but it's just such a lopsided BS arrangement.
Exactly.
That's the problem. So there's all these, and this has been the case for years, right? We're going to say, well, you're a student athlete, but we're going to sell your jersey number in our store. You're a student athlete, but please sign this waiver saying you're not going to sue us and actually get the money you deserve out of us in the instance you get sick, right? It's a very, very clear crossroads of where we stand. And you're right. You've got this name, image, and likeness stuff in Florida, California, everywhere else. But that's not really, that's tapping into the, sponsorship component and the ability to earn, capitalize on your public face, your positioning.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't quite go fully there, does it?
No.
Because that's the sport saying, hey, don't sue us and do this for free. Do this for a scholarship. So I am, again, I love this sport. I do. And I always will love it because there's nothing quite like it. But it's rattled right now, man. This thing is teetering. And you've got all of these things going on and they're all kind of coming together at a time when things were kind of coming together anyways, in terms of players really exercising their power and trying to capitalize on all this money being poured into the system. I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating. And by the way, getting back to the testing and the tests, this season's going to be a mess. Like we should just all prepare ourselves for that now. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just think you see the reality of what teams are going to have to do. And the injury reports are going to look a lot different, right? They're not going to be injury reports anymore. You're going to have, large chunks of teams missing games. Now, the good thing for college football is you're getting these kids in early. They are testing. A lot of these kids are asymptomatic. Of course, they're some of the best athletes in the world, all of these things, and you're kind of learning how to manage this stuff. But I think ultimately, as we go down here, having to run a season, look at that NBA report, that 113-page monstrosity. It's going to be really, really difficult.
And each one, it's hard to. Each one of these schools has their own little thing and all. It's just going to be
85
crazy.
scholarship players.
Good luck.
It's crazy. So a couple quick things real fast, Adam, before we go. Big week for Memphis, opening the new indoor practice facility, and then in recruiting, just killing it. Ryan Silverfield flipped the kid from LSU to Memphis, got a couple more big 3-stars in. One of the best recruiting jobs. He just seems to continue the momentum from Mike Norvell. It's a big week for the University of Memphis program.
The program, having a facility like that changes your whole outcome. That is, you talk to kids, that is that's where they spend that's their lives, right? Again, we're talking about player power, but that's where they spend their lives. And also, this is a program now that is in the spotlight. Maybe not to an LSU, but is in the spotlight. Oh, by the way, you may be able to play earlier. So you add a facility like this, just a ton of upward momentum. So even though you go through coaches and you go through another one, you expect the quality of player will continue to increase in terms of recruiting. It's well deserved too. It's a program that's certainly earned that right.
We're going to talk about that with Gabe here in just a little bit because Gabe was on the line for those mid 2010s Memphis teams. He was
for the build up.
For the build up. That's right. That's the Fuente / Norvell crossover time. And then last thing, give me just some brief thoughts on the Belk Bowl transitioning to the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Hellman's Mayo is better.
I mean,
Man.
Mayo is disaster. Mayo's awful. Don't even tell me.
I am also a Mayo is awful. That is my take. However,
sub sandwiches?
No.
However, I love a Mayo Bowl. Like I love a Mayo Bowl. I think this is absolutely the Belk Bowl just was a ridiculous name, right? Overall, generally ridiculous.
They leaned into the ridiculousness too, which I appreciated.
I mean, I don't know if it's as good or bad as I think a suburb here about 20 minutes from me just bought a bowl game.
Yes,
Elk Grove Village
bought
a bowl game
that.
like that.
Yes.
That was great. So maybe it's not quite that far, but you've got like ACC, Big Ten, so you're going to have like a Pitt, Indiana, just like 10-7, like it's just the Mayo Bowl.
And
right?
you know what's
like
going to happen? We're going to bring in Mark Mangino to hand out the trophy, the Mayo Trophy. We're going to we're going to dump mayo on the head of the winning coach. It's going to get a mayo bath. Right?
That's disgusting.
I mean, this was like I think we needed this news, man. Like you get me a ridiculous bowl game. It's like the most normal I've felt in a while, right? That's what we need a little bit more of, just to sprinkle in between everything else. The Mayo Bowl, I can't wait.
Well, I cannot wait. Hopefully it all goes off without a hitch. No one has to actually eat mayo because that stuff is filthy, disgusting. Adam, you're the best, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week, bud.
Appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Adam Kramer joining us from Bleacher Report, lead college football.
So no mayo at all?
No, not at all.
Zero.
No,
never.
No, I'm a revert. I'm a revert.
So okay, what condiments are going on a sandwich or burger?
Let's go back when we get back. I'll explain I have a very controversial stance on this, but we'll talk about that. Also, I got to get your thoughts on the Memphis program when we return. Real Sports Doc, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Great news, sports fans. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse is now open for dine-in service. Make a reservation and enjoy a mouth-watering steak dinner. Or, if you prefer, take it curbside. In addition to their fantastic steaks, the Butcher Shop Steakhouse has a variety of entrees, including Canadian lobster tail, crab-stuffed shrimp, hand-seared red snapper, and fresh ground steak burger with portobello mushroom sauce. Planning to cook out? The Butcher Shop Steakhouse offers a great selection of hand-cut fresh steaks, lamb chops, Atlantic salmon, and more. Father's Day is coming soon, so make your reservation for dine-in or pre-order for curbside pickup. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, dine-in, curbside, and delivery. Call us at 757-4244 and visit our website, thebutchershop.com, for menus and more. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, Walnut Grove and Germantown Parkway.
I'm John Conway with Conway Services. Do you have to add Freon to your air conditioner every summer? Good news, it's Super Tune-Up time at Conway Services. We'll come out and perform our exclusive 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up on your air conditioning system for only $69 with a Freon leak check. That's right, Conway Services exclusive 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up for only $69 with a Freon leak check. We'll remove years of dirt, grime, and leaves from your air conditioning system. It's like taking your air conditioner to a car wash, all for only $69. If you have an air conditioner that leaks Freon every year, with Conway Services Super Tune-Up, we'll include a leak check at no charge. If that's not enough, we'll treat your unit with a special Teflon coating to help protect against the hot Memphis sun. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. Call this week and we'll perform your Super Tune-Up for only $57.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Are you tired of staring at that dent? At Mako, getting collision repaired is as easy as book, quote, fix. Come to Mako for a collision repair backed by our best price guarantee. Uh-oh? Better get Mako.
It's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale. For a limited time only, trade in your old clubs and receive a 50% bonus trade-in towards any participating Cobra inline golf clubs. All Nike, Adidas, Puma, and Under Armour apparel is now 25% off. Check out the Bushnell Tour V5 rangefinder, which measures up to 400 yards to the flag. And introducing Bushnell's Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale going on now. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
For the ones we trust to always be there. for the ones caring for others, for the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everybody, are we ready for some hot fun this summertime? Cause I'm out here in Olive Branch looking at all these new All-Star Chevy trucks. You've got more new Silverados out here than you'll find anywhere, and for a lot less. Some still have 0 interest for 84 months with GM financing or thousands in cash back for summer. If it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is where you want to be. Come drive one of the new Blazers or Suburbans, or just drive both. You can fall in love with more than one. Finance with GM and you could be payment free all summer. And everybody at All-Star Chevy is excited about their pre-owned Chevy collection. It's huge. I'm looking at Tahoes, Malibus, Impalas, Suburbans. They have everything the new ones have, warranties and all, just thousands less. Remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. It's gotta be Olive Branch, people. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job: to make sure you get the best deal, have more fun, and in record time. So find new roads to Kraft Goodman Road in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So, just because the Duke's Mayo Bowl is out there, people are putting about this Mayo propaganda.
Pro Mayo propaganda.
And I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Not today, not any day.
Pro Mayo propaganda.
Yeah.
That is not
Big
propaganda.
Mayo, Big Mayo is out there. And Big Mayo is pushing the message, and I'm not part of it. I'm not part of Big Mayo. I'm not part of the man who's out there telling me, "Oh, Mayo's great." No! Wake up, sheeple.
I am 100% part of Big Mayo.
You are.
Yes.
You are. That's your nickname, Big Mayo. Big Mayo.
That works on several different.
It certainly does. I've said this before. I am a sauce racist. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. Any white sauces I do not like. So
you're a ketchup guy.
Yes, I do.
Mustard.
Mustard's okay. I don't love mustard, but it's fine. I don't just actively hate it. I hate like ranch. Out of here. Mayo. Boom. Hit the bricks.
Ranch.
Tartar sauce.
What
Boom.
do you dip
Let's
wings
go.
in?
Nothing.
You just eat them.
Just eat them.
Buffalo style.
Why am I dipping them in anything? What's
It's better. It's better that way.
It's not. You're diminishing the heat.
Yeah. Sometimes
I don't wanna do
it's
that.
needed. Sometimes it's needed.
No, I want to get the full thing. If I wanted less hot, I would just order not hot wings. I would order like regular wings. Why do I want to have? No, that doesn't make any sense. No, I want the full wing. If anything, I dip them in other wing sauce.
Have you tried it, or are we just making assumptions about what you like or not?
Listen, come on. I have kids now. We make them try it. I try it too.
Do they dip everything in ranch?
My kids don't. One of my kids likes ranch, one doesn't. So I can't speak to. But no, they don't dip everything in it.
Okay.
Ranch is not
I used
that
to be
prevalent
one of those weird kids.
around the house. We don't do that. Yeah. Kids don't really like condiments. Kids don't really like ketchup that much. I have one kid doesn't like ketchup. I thought all kids like ketchup, but no, not the case.
Usually kids are the ones that dip their steak in ketchup. Something like that.
Let me tell you something.
If you do that,
any steak,
a well-done steak dipped in ketchup.
If you cook your steak beyond medium and you're a grown-up, I'm concerned right out of the gate. And if you have any kind of a steak sauce or anything like that, I'm not on board with that. No.
You're not on board with a lot. You are really
I'm very
no
strident.
condiments.
I'm very
like
strident
zero
on that.
condiments.
The one condiment I have that I go through an enormous amount of is Frank's Red Hot Buffalo.
I prefer the Crystal. But Frank's is cool.
Frank's is great because it's just
make a good wing sauce out of it.
It's solid. I'm not trying to like reinvent the wheel here. I just want something that's just basic. I use it as salad dressing, Gabe.
Excuse what?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like actually?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. Absolutely. You get a salad.
How much do you have to add?
Not that much.
Is that like is your stomach hurt?
No, it's great.
Seems like a lot of hot sauce.
It's not that you're not dumping
Hot
it.
sauce and lettuce is just, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Hot sauce is pretty good on a lot of things.
Yes,
but lettuce,
try it. I think you really like it. It has to be like a Frank's. It can't be like a Louisiana or something like that's a little thinner. You need like a little.
You need the thick stuff.
Yeah, you need a little thickness to it.
You need it.
Thick with two C's.
They need to come straight out of the fridge too.
No, I don't refrigerate my hot sauce. I don't
shake
know.
it up before you put it on.
Yeah. You gotta shake it up and then pour it on there, but not a ton. But then you mix it in there. It adds that little spice to it. It's nice. It does what salad dressing.
I might have to try that.
It's very good, and there's no calories to it, which is even better.
Yeah, I still love mayo though. You're not gonna talk me out of that.
I don't.
And ranch.
But wrong on both counts. But that's fine. You can. I'm not.
You can be wrong. You can be willfully wrong.
You are absolutely. You can be wrong, and that's okay. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I'm just going to disagree with it wholeheartedly. It's terrible. Any white sauce. There's no white sauce that I like.
Let's think.
There's none. I'm just
blue cheese is disgusting.
No blue cheese. No
disgusting.
tartar sauce.
Alfredo.
No. Alfredo. Nope.
What?
Nope.
Oh.
Really?
Nope. White queso. Nope.
So like chicken Alfredo, you just no.
Nope. That's a no. That's a no for me, dog.
Is it because it's white at this point? Like
no.
It's just because
I just don't like the creamy sauces.
Okay.
So good.
Like more of a red sauce. Give me a red sauce all day long.
I like red sauce too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you like white sauce doesn't mean you.
I'm not saying you got to like one or the other. I'm just saying I want the red sauce. I don't want the white sauce.
That's fair.
That's it. It just so happens that I don't like creamy texture things. I don't like cheese like that or anything. So then that tends to incorporate a lot of the white sauce situation. So that
I hear you.
It's
disagree wholeheartedly, but I hear you.
Okay. Well, you have to have standards.
Yes.
That's what life is all about. Now we talked about with our buddy Adam Kramer. How are you feeling about the University of Memphis program?
Fantastic. I mean, as you know, Silverfield was my coach while I was there for the last 2 years I was there, and
you're well acquainted with.
I mean he's a really good players coach, and I'm not even remotely surprised in what he's done in recruiting and in what he's done in hiring coaches. And I think that was the big question: is okay, he's never been a head coach. Can he step in for a guy like Mike Norvell, who brought the Tigers to their I'll say us. Screw it. I'll say us.
Yeah, because you're part of the team. For God's sake.
It brought us to our first Cotton Bowl. So there was that big question of, okay, how's he going to hire? Because Norvell had sort of the revolving door of coaches, and they all fit in fantastically. And I don't think anybody expected the level of assistant that Silverfield was going to bring in. I mean, you have Jim Bridge, who's been a O-line coach just about everywhere, bringing him in with a bunch of experience. You have Mike McIntyre, who's the coach of the year at Colorado. I don't think anyone expected that level. And then as far as recruits this week, I mean, the past 48 to 72 hours that Ryan Silverfield has had, it's incredible. I mean, he's had a bunch of 3 stars, 2 4 stars, depending on what you look at. 1 definite 4-star, the linebacker out of New Orleans, Andrew Jones, who is the 9th best inside linebacker in the nation. And he beat out Mike Norvell for him. Mike Norvell had an offer into him a long while back, and he ended up beating out him and Kirby Smart at Georgia. And not to mention, in the past 48 hours, they opened the indoor facility. So, it's all looking up at this moment. Now, when you get around a season, he's going to have to prove what type of coach he'll be in that situation. I think he's more of the CEO style. I don't see him being a guy who's going to call a bunch of plays. He's big in sort of game planning. But as soon as he gets into the games, I think he's going to let his coaches coach. But I think it looks up. And I mean, I think they're 34th in the nation right now, according to 247 in the recruiting rankings, and that's only behind Cincinnati and Luke Fickell, I think, by 1 ranking, which doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But
and then Cincinnati, was widely praised for and rightly so. I mean, they've had a tremendous run as well, recruiting wise. But
they're also in a very, very good spot to be recruiting.
Certainly.
Big recruits. I mean, St. Xavier, all the high school football there in Cincinnati is fantastic. And it's interesting how much Ryan Silverfield has done out of New Orleans. What he's done out of Louisiana, Texas, and stealing some of these guys from some of the in-state schools. Like that's wildly impressive.
It's really it hasn't missed a beat from Mike Norvell, and the credit, there's an underlying fabric of this program that's being built and that's been built over the last decade that's very impressive, because the concern when you went from Justin Fuente to Mike Norvell was, look at what Justin Fuente did. He built this thing from, it was in the toilet. This thing was, you didn't even have all your scholarships filled. You had, I remember
he was kicking people off.
I talked to Fuente. I had a long talk with Fuente the year after he arrived, went over to his office, and we did interviews and chatted for, it was probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. And he was a super great guy, but he was explaining and talking about the challenges when he came in. And he's like, we couldn't even practice. Like, we couldn't even have a practice the way I wanted to, because the guys couldn't do it. They could only go for 45 minutes or an hour, and then we would just be done. The conditioning was at rock bottom. The number of guys, the depth was at rock bottom. So we just didn't have guys to do reps. We didn't have guys that could do the conditioning. He said it was just like it took a year plus to just get a baseline of just okay before you can even go.
I will tell you, Coach Fuente was notorious. Absolutely notorious for starting practice over. And for people that don't know about college football practices, you're talking about periods of 5 minutes, right? And we would have 24 periods, right? So, obviously, 2-hour practice. You would get to period 20, he'd say, not good enough, we're starting over from the top. He was notorious for, and that was obviously, my red shirt year. Mm-hmm. So that was the 3-9 season with Paxton Lynch in his first year, and he was notorious for that. But there was so much ground to make up. He had a uphill battle, and that year you could see differences for sure. Right, there was like you lose close games against UCF, Louisville with Teddy Bridgewater. So like there were definitely things that were looking up. But
what happened at the end of that year?
The end of that year, we got smacked by UConn.
Yeah, no, but it looked like everyone just kind of like, I don't know.
They checked out. You had a bunch of seniors. You had a bunch of seniors who you were what at that point 3 and 8.
When the bowl eligibility you were
it was
like 3 and 6.
And then you play Temple, UConn. You just get smacked by all of them because you don't care anymore, basically, is what happened there. Yeah. But the difference is here, the continuity is just far and away better. Like from Fuente to Norvell, the learning that went into putting in Norvell's system, because Norvell's system's a lot more complicated. And that's no shot against Fuente by any stretch, but Norvell's system's a lot more complicated. This time around, like, you have guys that know the system they're going to run before they run it. Maybe the verbiage will be a little different, but I'll tell you from experience, the verbiage being different versus the entire scheme being different, the switchover is going to be drastically easier. So I think there's so much to build on, and I think, when you look at who he has hired and who he has brought in, like it looks like it's going to be seamless.
If he's going to have the CEO approach that you're talking about, you have to bring in a high level of assistant. And he's done that, and he's shown that he can do that. And if you're going to be the CEO, you're going to have to bring in the best personnel player-wise, and he's shown that he can do that as well. So, so far,
the one downside of that is being a CEO, you do have to get used to coaches maybe leaving if they do perform well. But I think if coaches do leave, he can be almost maybe a little better than Mike Norvell in bringing new guys back in that he has a good established relationship with. So I think the program's in fantastic hands, and I think the recruiting is just going to take off because of the indoor and what they've been doing lately.
It's already taken off, and the indoor has just arrived. So you can only imagine what it would be like. And my goodness, if you look at the skill positions and what guys are doing in the NFL and the continued growth, running backs, incredible. So that's just, hey man, that stuff matters. Stuff matters right now, and we're in a weird space in college sports, as we said. There's some opportunity for transition right now.
I do have to tip the cap to that coaching staff and how well they have handled the social injustice and
the Black Lives
Matter movement. Like they have done a fantastic job in supporting their players. Yeah, the Unity Walk was fantastic, bringing out somebody from the Memphis State 8. I mean, they have done a fantastic job in supporting those players.
No question. And that stuff it matters.
Translates
it should matter.
too.
It should matter. It's an important part of the holistic growth of your program and truly caring about your players. Like we talk about truly caring about your players. That's an example of truly caring about your players. We'll come back and we'll continue with this. We'll get into the NBA side of it. A few little updates on the NBA side. Our buddy Kari Thompson is going to join us to talk a little more recruiting as well at in the 9 o'clock hour. So we'll do that when we continue here live from the Family Leisure Studios. I'm Peter. He's Gabe. That's Zach. Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Start your day at Sunrise Memphis. Located in Midtown, enjoy delicious biscuit sandwiches and all their menu has to offer with quick and easy to-go and delivery options. Whether it's breakfast, brunch, or lunch, don't distance yourself from great food. For more information on Sunrise Memphis, visit sunrise901.com or call 901-552-3144 to place your order. Stay healthy and eat Sunrise Memphis today.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Hey clones, you've heard me talk about Walmart delivery before, but now Walmart has the fastest delivery service yet. Walmart Express Delivery. Get groceries and more delivered from their door to yours with no contact delivery in 2 hours or less. Zero markups. Same low price as in-store. Don't let work, kids, an at-home workout, or whatever else life throws at you right now get in the way of getting what you need when you need it. Try Walmart Express Delivery today. Restrictions and fees do apply.
Do you get into bed and find your mind still going? If so, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's liquid melatonin. It's made with an optimal level of melatonin for no next day grogginess. Pure Z's liquid melatonin, because sleep is a beautiful thing, at stores now.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Your father's intellect and the deep part of you that you haven't discovered yet.
Yeah.
I could be your sister.
What is this?
Zach.
This is the bar case. The song is called Freaky Behavior.
Peter couldn't even tell me.
I didn't know. I love this.
Zach's
I've
way
never
better
heard
at
this.
music than me.
Yeah, it's Freaky Behavior by the bar case.
Freaky
I
Behavior.
never heard Freaky Behavior by the Bar Cave. This is nice. I like this.
This might be a download.
That's very funky. That's very funky right there. Yeah. we were talking during the break, Gabe. The difficulty, the NBA is going through it now with all of the different protocols that have to be in place. 113-page. Something detailing. That's a lot of pages. Detailing everything from no sharing of snorkels in case you are, don't be getting any ideas. That sounds like a euphemism for something, right?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like
no sharing of snorkels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like Like,
I'm sure there's more of
that
those
girl
in
over there. She likes to share snorkels. If you know what I'm saying, like that sounds like that kind of that sounds like a different thing.
You might be right. Yeah, I think you might be right on that.
Hey, no sharing snorkels, everybody. When you go to the party, just remember, no sharing snorkels. This is not one of those parties. So you can't do that. No doubles ping pong.
But you can play singles.
You can't play singles ping pong.
You just have to wipe down the paddles, I'm assuming.
Well, they will be disposed of, like the cards. You can play cards as well, but the cards.
They throw the cards out after every game?
Every at the end of every card game, the cards are disposed of. They have there's phrasing in there. It's called I believe that the sentence is a sufficient number of cards will be made available. So
that is
that's
sufficient.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's very specific.
Yes. So if you
Why don't
play
they just
cards,
wear gloves while they play? So you don't have to throw away a bunch of.
No, because then you got the no.
You take chances.
No, it's not gonna work.
It's
You
a
just
chance.
throw away the gloves. No big deal. I mean, throw away the cards. The cards are $2, $3 a pop. Come on. You're playing Boo-Ray. You're playing spades. You're playing whatever you're playing. I mean, these guys can afford to. They can afford to. The card budget is plentiful.
I think they're going to open up Magic Mountain for them.
Well, apparently the NBA will have unique, bespoke experiences made for them from Disney that will not mix with the rest of the Disney people. Like the people that are Walt Disney World, you will not encounter an NBA person. They're going to have behind the scenes stuff and
the DJ sets and.
And they're even. I think they're going to take them to some of the rides and stuff. I think you're just going to have to kind of
avoid
do it
making contact with
off
anyone else.
hours or something like that because they're keeping a specific bubble where the NBA is in there. I don't know how any of this is actually going to work in execution. We talked about how difficult it's going to be for the NBA, and that's you're talking 450 people, 450 players, another few hundred staffers and other folks, in the 1,000 range, let's say. But at each individual college campus, so each individual campus is going to have its own protocols based on state and local regulations. Each conference is going to have its own set of rules and all that stuff. Not to speak of even what's going to go on at high schools. Gabe, seeing how difficult it is for a major professional organization to pull this off, I don't know. This seems like it's going to be very difficult.
You can't test them. You're not going to have the money. You don't have the funds. You're not sufficiently funded. I mean, maybe some schools are, but like you look at Memphis, like I don't know what phase it's going to take to have all of these guys in workouts together, on the field together, learning plays.
But how do you? How do you learn football without being together? Like, how do you learn plays?
You can't. Zoom meetings are about all you can do at this moment, and I even when the season comes around, like it's inevitable that you're going to get positive tests from all of the student population. I mean, if you have 1,000-person school, it's going to be absolutely inevitable that a lot of those people, not a lot, but some of those students are going to catch the thing and spread it. And they might not know. They might be asymptomatic. So there's a lot of liability that's going to go, especially into the high school game.
Well, they're working. There is a possibility that you can use what they call group batch testing, where you take you separate incoming players or whoever into groups of 20, and you take blood samples from each of them, and then you mix the blood together and test that mixed blood. And if it comes up negative, then everyone's negative.
But
if it comes up positive, then you have to. So it's a way to keep it.
Is there like a percentage of how positive it was?
No, I wish.
No,
it's either
this was 10% positive.
either it is or it isn't. But that's a way to save money. But then you have the complications of if one of the groups comes up positive, then you have to start contact tracing everyone and all that stuff. So it's not. There's no perfect solution,
not ideal.
or even a good. I heard somebody talking about that. I think this is the right phrasing. Every one of these solutions is some variant of bad. It's just how bad. Like none of this stuff is. There's no good answer to any of this stuff. It's just what's the least bad solution to all of this, and that's what everyone's working on right now.
That's just like the worst way to look at something. Let's just figure out the least bad way of going about this. But it's the only thing you can do at this point.
No good.
There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah, there's no good. There's nothing good. It's just can you avoid the absolute worst case scenarios? That would be the best thing to do. We'll talk about some of that recruiting stuff with Kari Thompson from The Commercial Appeal, who joins us every Friday. He'll do that next. Hour number 3 on the way from the Family Leisure Studios. Gabe Kuhn in for CJ Hurt. Zach Boyd doing the production. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I've always wanted to learn another language, but every time I try, it never sticks. So I decided to give Babbel a try, and I really like the teaching method of the app. I started with the beginner lesson on Babbel, and it starts with simple words and phrases, and soon you're putting those words into a conversation. Each lesson takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and they're all really different, which keeps things interesting. The app is really smart. It actually keeps track of the words I'm struggling with so I can practice them and get better. I chose Babbel because it was created by real language teachers. They built it around real life, how people actually communicate, and what they care about. I can't wait to use my new language skills in the real world. Dos cervezas, por favor.
With Babbel, get conversational in Spanish, French, German, and more. It just takes 10 to 15 minutes a day. Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com or download the Babbel app and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Hi, it's The Herd. We're all faced with new challenges these days. If you need legal help for yours, trust LegalZoom. You want to set up a will, maybe a living trust? How about starting a business as a DBA or an LLC? LegalZoom can help there too. You can start online. Their network of attorneys can provide advice when you need it. And since LegalZoom is not a law firm, you don't get charged by the hour. Visit LegalZoom.com for more information. Their site has it all. Trust LegalZoom.
This is Eli Savoy from Sports 56 Middays. Join Greg and me as we hit the road again. That's right, we've been locked up too long, so we'll head to Frontier Western Store on Goodman Road in Olive Branch this Friday from 10 to 1. Come join us as we'll have all types of prizes and giveaways, as well as lunch catered by Moe's Southwest Grill. What a great place to get that special gift for a special dad with Father's Day on Sunday. We'll see you Friday from 10 to 1 at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, as we hit the road again.
We are are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair.
Now here's my question for you guys. Hour number 3. Beautiful Friday. Gabe, I got a text from got a text from our buddy Jarvo, who says, from one Tiger to another, you're doing a great job. He appreciates you.
Oh, my gosh. Thanks, Jarvis is fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Jarvo.
He just said to Gabe, so I don't know about you, Zach. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Zach, you're doing a great job, too, man. You can take that compliment as well.
I love you, Zach.
I thought, because we both are alumni. We both are alumni. That I thought it was like a tag.
I assume. I know Jarvo loves you. I don't. He didn't specifically say it.
He might come back in specifically now that we've talked about it.
He's welcome to clarify that if he'd like. I just want to make sure that I give the appropriate compliment where it was headed. Second question before we bring in our friend Kari Thompson. Does it better if I do the headphones like this so I really plop the hair out, or if I go like this and really go like Pat?
No. You gotta have
Riley
the hair.
on it.
I literally don't want to see the headphones. I want the headphones to get lost in the hair. That's the much better way.
So I can kind of go like this, so you can't even see the headphones right there.
Yeah, like the mad scientist kind of thing.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's better. I like it.
Science.
You look like you. What are those? The little balls with the electricity in them that you put your hand on and it just spikes up. That's what you got going. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Was that good?
Yeah, sure.
A little bit scary.
That's fine.
Good. Okay,
that's fine.
All right. So we've covered all of those bases. Let's bring in our friend Kari Thompson. How are you, Kari?
What's up,
Kari?
What's up?
What's going on, Peter? Gabe?
What's going on,
man?
What's going on, man?
Man, nothing much. We had the sports awards last night, so we gave out some awards.
Did you win anything?
Nope.
Oh, come
First
on,
team all
Kari.
Memphis
Ah.
Were you up for anything?
But here's my victory. I haven't had too many complaints. That's my victory.
Okay.
Not many angry parents calling me. There's always going to be some, but people cool. Don't let me jinx it.
There's a definition of too many complaints. So you've had complaints, but just not too many.
Right. You're always going to have complaints. That's just the nature of preps is that parents are not happy with some sort of coverage. It's either you're not enough or too much or something else going on or whatever. There's always something. So I remember that very well. So you just have to kind of. Gabe,
I would never complain.
Gabe, you'll hear that soon enough when
Oh,
no,
Gabe,
I hear
you're
complaints. I hear complaints.
Yeah.
I hear
Gabe,
complaints.
when you have kids, bro, you're gonna change, man. You're gonna be like my Gabe Jr. should have been lineman of the year.
Well, hey, Gabe Jr. will be lineman of the year. How about that?
Oh,
how about that? Hey, calling it out right now on this 19th day of June, 2020.
Is it going to be Gabe Kuhn the second or Gabe Kuhn Jr. or what are we going to do here?
Okay, hold up. No, I'm not I did just speak wrong. I'm not going to have a junior. It'll be a different name.
Oh, all right.
It'll be a different name.
I mean, it's fine. No one's knocking it.
I respect that. Every man needs his own name.
That's fine. Lincoln Perry won the football award. I guess no real surprise there. Although there was some pretty stiff competition, but a spectacular year for the young man from Houston.
Yeah, man, no doubt. Looking forward to seeing him at the next level. Because Arkansas State got all those games set up with Memphis, Liberty Bowl. So we haven't seen the last of Lincoln Perry either.
A little local rivalry. Love to see the kids coming back to Memphis to see. And I think he was a kid that was somewhat controversial, Kari, in the recruitment process and all that stuff. But I don't know, man. You watch him play. The kid can just play. I'm not the size stuff or whatever, man. That kid is just good, man. I don't know. I feel like sometimes we get too hung up on all that, and this kid's a player.
I mean, when you say size, I mean, people are talking about he's short. That's really what it is. But does that matter for a running back? Like, you know, we live in a time where we got, you know, the Darren Sproles of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be a short running back, no question.
And he's strong. That's another
Yeah.
thing that needs to be taken into consideration. Been working with Coach Shabazz for forever. So that's something that needs to be completely taken into consideration when you look at his perceived size. I mean, there's a lot of running backs that have been ultra productive at 5'8", 5'9".
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think it can be an advantage. I mean, you can be hard to find. You can slide in a little bit through some of the cracks and all that stuff. I mean,
crevices, cracks, and crevices.
The crevices and the cracks, yeah, the nooks and the crannies. Absolutely. What's the speaking of football stuff? Gabe and I were talking about this during the break, but like the summer, Kari, what is the protocol situation right now around the area? What's the plan as we know it? Because there are still obviously limitations on things that you can do in the way that these teams are able to get together for their summers.
Well, it's been, it's just questions of, when we're going to get fully back at it, because the private schools are back practicing.
Yeah.
The public schools are back practicing. And as you know, this is the last week before the dead period, so we're about to have 2 weeks of nobody practicing. Shelby County Schools has still not articulated what the plan is for them at all for public schools. Like, has said nothing. I mean, they said we have a task force and we're working on it, but I don't know.
Love a good task force.
Do you have any idea what phase it will take for the Shelby County Schools to get back to it, or is there just absolutely nothing at this point? Gabe, literally, I emailed them. I emailed media relations. I was like, so, when can we expect a plan? We've got public schools practicing. We've got private schools practicing. We have Houston literally practicing while Germantown can't practice, even though they're in the same city. So I was like, so what's the plan, guys? They literally, one sentence emailed me back and go, we're working on it. Well, that's the definition of no plan, yes. Well,
I love a good task force. That's all. Anytime we can get a task force and some emails and get nothing done, that's exciting. That's always fantastic. So, congratulations, kudos to tip the cap. Now former Briarcrest player Kennedy Chandler taking home the award last night for boys basketball, and we'll kind of see what happens from there. Was there much debate over that one?
Yeah. I mean, that top three is very strong. I think in just about any other market, Jonathan Lawson or Musa Cisse could be your player of the year. Pretty much like anywhere else in the country. So it was tough for that top three. But I think if you just look at the body of work that Kennedy has put this year between Peach Jam and what he did and blowing up and literally going from a 0-star to a 5-star, what he did with Briarcrest taking them to the state title game was one missed shot at the end from winning a second straight title, getting that second straight Mr. Basketball, playing all the top competition and excelling. I think, and just when you look at the totality of his ranking and who's recruiting him, and the fact that the G League wants him, Coach K is after him. I mean, it's like, I just don't see a resume in Memphis high school sports this year, not just basketball, Memphis high school sports, because these are boys' athletes of the year, that stacks up to what he's doing, other than maybe Rachel Heck. Rachel Heck's resume can stack up with what Kennedy. But other than that, on the boys' side, Kennedy kind of is in his own class at this point. And that's impressive because he's a junior.
Well, and now he's at a different school. So
yeah,
Sunrise Christian.
So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it while you could. He also won Boys Athlete of the Year overall. Girls Athlete of the Year went to Rachel Heck, as you just mentioned, from St. Agnes. But how could it not? She is a spectacular golfer and the LPGA qualifying and U.S. Women's Open. All that. So I mean, my goodness, she's unbelievable. How good she could end up being. And then Yeah, I mean she's a pro for crying out loud. She was competing in France and all that. It's unreal. If you've never seen her or you never watched her, she's totally different level than everybody else. You mentioned his name. Where are we at on Musa? Your buddy.
I
know you guys are talking a lot. I know you guys are chatting a lot. I know he's definitely talking a lot.
Actually, I saw Musa not too long ago. Actually,
hey,
yeah.
Did you come up to him and did you give him come on? Did you guys have it out a little bit?
Nah, man, I dapped him up. It's all love, man. I was like, "What up, Musa?" I was like, "It's good to see you." He seemed happy to see me.
Were you at the? Was this at the over at the East, the John Morant and all that stuff? The
yeah, that's actually where I saw him. It's funny because I saw him as he came in. He was a couple minutes late, so he came in the middle of scrimmage. I was like, "What up, Musa?"
Did he look surprised
to
see you?
He was like sitting down, putting on his shoes, trying to get ready. So I didn't bother him too much with recruiting questions, but caught up with him.
He didn't look surprised at all to see you.
Oh man!
No, man. No. Okay. I'm a regular on the scene, Gabe.
No, I know that. I'm not. I get that.
But nah, I mean, Javonte opened it up to the media. So I was there. Drew Hill was there. Cassie Carlson was there. And those hoop sessions are like incredible, and they do them like weekly. So can't give out the secret location, but I can say that it is awesome.
Oh, it was it was at Kari's house, is my understanding.
It's impressive.
Court. Yeah, my apartment downtown. There we go.
I'm very impressed with the court.
It's very nice. So John Morant's still doing okay? Seems like he's all right.
Oh yeah. Ja's doing. I mean, even at 70%, like just jogging, man. I mean, just it's incredible. It's insane. We're also coming up on the 1 year anniversary of Ja being drafted to Memphis.
Yes, and that
Evan Barnes.
What date are we looking at?
I believe it's Saturday.
Yeah, it was 21st or 20th or 21st. Yeah, so I remember last year. It was pretty extraordinary. And he's obviously exceeded the high expectations that people had for him. He's exceeded those expectations. Back to Musa for a second, and I know you didn't get a chance to chat with him to any length. Is it fair to interpret the increasing delay of his announcement as good news for Memphis? The longer it goes, the better it is for Memphis.
100%. That's what I think. That's what I've been saying. It was weird. There was a point where, like a couple of weeks ago, all the experts just decided, "Oh, it's LSU."
Right.
Like, I think one of them, I think it was Corey Evans that had been saying LSU from the jump, but the rest of them, like the Evan Daniels and everybody, were like, "It's LSU," and they all filed their picks in 1 week. So, in these recruiting situations, it's like if you know you're going to make a decision, why are you going to sit on it, right? Like, is that, Gabe? You've gone through the recruiting process, right?
Not quite his recruiting process. I'll tell you that. Not quite to that extent, but yes, I have.
But so you can validate this. If you know where you're going to go, why would you put it off?
Yeah, absolutely,
absolutely. Is it a good thing for the leader if you're putting it off?
No. Okay. Well, I guess there's certain situations where guys want to do it very, very publicly and have a video made and, have graphics made and stuff like that. But with his, I am not sold that he's actually in a position where he knows yet. I think he's still sort of I think he's absolutely contemplating at this moment.
Yo, because he's choosing between like two schools that are about to get investigated.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the unfortunate way to look at it, but yes, that is true.
There's a lot of thought that's going to come into it. Like
Peter, this is real sports talk, man. Real sports talk.
I mean, we're keeping it real. You're exactly right about that. I mean, it's which level of allegations do you want? Do you want the traditional style, or do you want the new whatever that
the Adidas, Nike, FBI stuff?
Yeah, or do you want the new what's the
AARP?
Not AARP. The AARP is not involved.
Hold up.
the old folks
Change
are not
that
retired.
first A to an I, and I think you got what you're looking for.
Yeah, the AARP, man. Wilford Brimley is heavily noted to be illegally. Yes, the IARP. Do you want that style, or do you want the traditional style? That's really your choice at this point. For
right.
Musa.
It's like hot wings with honey gold, man.
It's a little more. It's a little spicier in Memphis with that new thing with there's no appeal process. It's a little spicier now. So if you want it hot, if you like that thing hot like nuclear style, then I think you got to come to Memphis right here. I don't know, man. I don't know. So your gut's telling you Memphis, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's been telling me Memphis all along, but you know me. I'm not an insider. I'm not Jonathan Gavoni. You feel me? I'm not
Kari Express, though. We got to get Kari Express out there.
All aboard the Kari Express.
Yeah, you got to get your own YouTube channel. In addition to all the other stuff out there, you got to do it, man.
I'd follow that account.
Yeah, let's go.
Working on it.
I'm just saying, Kari Express. Telling you.
I'm just saying.
Oh my
goodness. I'm just saying sports. Whoa.
I'm just saying sports.
I'm just saying, Musa, my crystal ball says Memphis. What? I'm just saying. Boom.
I'm just saying. Just composite.
Now, on the football side, we were just talking about this. Memphis in the new indoor practice facility. The recruiting, I mean, bringing in some 3-star kids, 4-star kid. I mean, like we're talking next level stuff. Ryan Silverfield not only not missing a beat, but just continuing to elevate the program. What's the word on the street from Kari Express on Memphis in the recruiting world?
Memphis is starting to get Memphis kids now too. They didn't get any before, but now they're starting. You see Brandon Warner at Ridgeway committing. You see Greg Rubin out of White Station committing. Last year was just Devontae Nelson. So now we're starting to see not only you flipping the LSU kids, but you're starting to bring some of the local kids back. I think that's a good thing.
You think some of those bigger name local kids, the 4 stars and 5 stars of the world, maybe not 5 stars, but the 4 stars of the world may give him and Silverfield and Memphis like a look at this point? Because that's going to be the big, I feel like, barometer of, when they finally reach that peak of their recruiting, is if they can keep some of those, tremendous talents from in the city.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the season plays out, Gabe. But as it's looking right now, just off of rankings perspective, because obviously we haven't seen any football in a while, there's not too many 4-stars around here in this class. It's a bit of a down year if you look at the rankings. So that gives Silverfield some time actually to put in work with the young studs because they'll be around for a while, as long as they don't pull a Kennedy and go prep. Pull a Nolan.
It may happen. It may happen. So we anticipate. I mean, at this stage right now, everything is planning. I don't know what is there any word on like school situation? Are we planning on the season starting as normal? Like you just going as if everything's going to be normal? There's been no word that anything would be different?
Sheesh, man, you gonna make me email the task force again, huh?
Well, you have such a good relationship with them. I want you to take advantage.
You're just gonna get a one line answer again.
Yeah, I need you to keep building that beautiful relationship y'all have.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I'll get 2 sentences. That'll be
Hi, Kari. I hope this finds you well. We have nothing to report. Thank you.
Or just CC Peter in the email.
Yeah, please. Yeah, throw me in. Do a little BCC on the on there. That'd be.
All right, guys. Peter really wants to know this. Peter wants to know when we're going back.
I got kids in school, first of all, so I definitely need to know. Second of all, I'm just curious. That's the way this thing works. So please go ahead and let me know. That's all. Help me out, Corey. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
So we
for.
should not be standing by waiting for an announcement anytime soon on this.
Kari, when is your dumb sport of baseball going to figure this thing out? Are y'all going to play or not? I mean, this is
Man,
stupid.
don't even get me started. It's just such a mess, man. It's just such a mess. But listen, here's while I'm mad about the mess that baseball is in,
Mm-hmm.
I'm low key psyched that the Red Sox drafted Blaze Jordan.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The kid's phenomenal.
Yeah, man. So he's gonna be, if he signs, he's gonna be working his way up towards Fenway, man. So had to let the people back in Boston know what he was all about. Had to post some highlight clips and all that.
He's really good, man. That kid can crush it.
Did you actually watch the MLB draft though? That's the real question.
I monitored it
from far away.
I love watching drafts.
MLB.com.
I love watching drafts, but the MLB draft, I'm sorry, man.
No.
Rob Manfred stepping up to the microphone was something I could not will myself to do.
It's an experience, though, if you watch. It depends on who you're with and what the circumstance is. Because I watched the draft with Maurice Hampton last year, and that was pretty cool. Just seeing him go through the motions of am I gonna go? Am I not gonna go? That sort of thing. And to just watch it all unfold in real time, you realize these are 17-year-old kids making multi-million-dollar decisions. You know what I'm saying? And in life-changing situations.
Well, if you're hanging out with one of them, sure, that's fine, no problem. You're hanging out with a player or something, cool. But otherwise, it's not. It's not.
If you're by yourself at home,
if you're by yourself, eating some wings and whatever, then
and ranch.
How you feel about mayo, Kari?
Mayo?
Yeah.
Give me context. I mean, we're not eating mayo
on a sub sandwich. Do you like
just
it?
in general? Do you like mayo on?
Do you like it as a condiment?
Yeah, on whatever you want to put it on.
I'm not saying you have to eat it straight with a spoon.
God,
that's the one
Okay.
thing. We don't have to do that.
What is wrong with?
Okay. I'm typically not a mayo guy, but in certain situation it works. On a steak and cheese, it can work.
Oh, okay.
Normal
sub sandwich. Any love there? Burger.
Burger, definitely not. No.
Oh, y'all are missing out.
Wait.
Peter
Gabe,
said he doesn't even like Alfredo. He doesn't like any white sauce.
I'm a sauce
No
racist.
white
I don't
condiment.
like white. I don't like white condiments.
Man, hold on. White cheddar sauce is amazing. You gotta.
Not even. He doesn't even like chicken Alfredo, Kari. We have
Alfredo.
a long way to go with Peter.
No,
it's
Alfredo.
It's sad.
Alfredo's more peach colored, but still.
What? That's white. It's definitely white.
It's like a white. It's whiter. It's kind of an off white. It's not like pure white. Depends on what you're doing, I guess, with it.
Put some respect on Alfredo's name, man.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't respect Alfredo. I don't respect. I don't respect
I really,
tartar sauce. I don't respect ranch. I don't respect
the
mayo.
ranch thing throws
I don't
me
respect
off, man.
any
Ranch
of
is
that. I don't
fantastic.
respect any white sauces. I don't respect.
You don't respect blue cheese?
Nope, don't respect blue cheese.
Oh, see, that's where I'm gonna have to disagree. Yeah, I think you're outnumbered on this one, Kari. I can't do the blue cheese.
No, I don't have no respect for it.
So what do you eat with wings?
I just eat wings. What or possibly dip it in additional hot sauce.
No sauce to cook it off?
No, because it's a hot wing. I like it hot. I like it hot.
Ask him what he puts on his salads.
Oh, he puts Frank's Red Hot.
That's exactly
okay,
right.
He knew.
Yeah,
he knew.
knows.
Okay.
He knows.
That on everything.
Okay.
Yeah, he put that on everything. It says it on the label. It says it on the label. Put that. That's a true story. You got to put that on everything. And it's not just a slogan. That's the real deal. You got to put that on everything. It's delicious. Listen, you gotta diversify. You got to get away from some of these sauces. We got to get out into the new. This is the new
I
paradigm.
think you need to open your mind a little
Oh,
bit.
There's a
wait, Peter. So Peter, you gotta put me on some sauce game. You gotta give me 2 new sauces I need to try. When I'm in the.
What kind of sriracha are you doing some sriracha here?
Oh, sriracha's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, sriracha's good stuff.
Okay, all right. Are we doing some hoisin?
No, poison.
Okay, all right. Well, then we need to start. Hoisin's it's kind of a I use it mostly in Thai foods. Kind of in Thai.
Peter's toilets at home are that's They get used.
What are you talking about? Hoisin is delicious, man. It's
They get
it's a
used
little
quite
thicker.
often.
It's a little
You said
thicker, a little
Thai food,
sweeter.
man.
It's kind of a
You brought up Thai food.
Thai food's great. Oh, Thai food's
It's good, but
spectacular. It's spicy. You got to know.
Yeah.
If you go, you want it spicy though.
You can overdo it, right?
Oh yeah, you got to be careful. Hoisin's like a teriyaki. It has a little sweetness, like a teriyaki maybe, but like it's a little sweeter. It's good. It's really good. Try it. Get some hoisin. You'll enjoy it. Like a ponzu or something like that maybe. Yeah. Go for the Asian sauces like that. Delicious. What about teriyaki? Straight up teriyaki. You like teriyaki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teriyaki's
All
good.
right. Okay. Then we're getting somewhere. All right. So that you start messing around with those sauces, and then we can start talking. Hummus. I can do hummus.
Hummus.
Is hummus a sauce?
Hummus not really. Well, you can dip like bread into it.
Carrots.
It's kind of a semi-sauce, I would say.
It's like a paste.
Yeah, it's not full on sauce, but you can dip it. So I qualify.
Be careful with hummus because hummus is very. I mean, not everybody's gonna enjoy hummus.
Guacamole. Has a guacamole a sauce?
Another paste.
Guac is like a snack. It's not a sauce.
But you put it on stuff. You don't eat just guac straight up. You got to put it on something. Therefore, it's a.
What do we call it? A paste. I think we should term that a paste.
It's an accompaniment. It's a condiment. Guacamole is a condiment, right?
Yeah, you can put it in like.
I put it.
Yeah.
I'll do a turkey sandwich. You could be talking about turkey sandwich with like mayo. People put mayo on the turkey sandwich. I put guac on the turkey sandwich. I do a guacamole hot sauce mix and put that. Oh, guacamole hot sauce is wonderful.
Here's a head scratcher though. Is applesauce a sauce?
What are you dipping into applesauce?
I eat applesauce.
Yeah, you just eat applesauce. What are you dipping into applesauce?
But they call it a sauce.
But it's
I
a
think
sauce.
he's posing a decent question. It's not a sauce though. It isn't.
I mean,
it would not. I mean, I don't know what it would accompany.
It is.
Oh,
it
pork
is,
chops for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, you dip pork chops in applesauce for sure.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. You could do pork chops. Apple. It's a bad name. I agree. It's a little deceptive in the name, but we've grandfathered it in because it was called applesauce, and we're okay with it. It's not barbecue sauce. All that stuff's different. Barbecue sauce. There you go. Put something like that. Mix a little Frank's and a little Frank's and ketchup for a little hot ketchup. Frank's and barbecue sauce, a little hot barbecue. You can't go wrong with that. It's spectacular. Garlic, Cajun garlic hot that's my wing jam right there, buddy.
You guys Whataburger fans?
Love Whataburger.
So you like the hot ketchup?
Whataburger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the hot ketchup.
Hot ketchup, baby. Oh,
I would buy a bottle of that.
hot ketchup is.
They sell it.
I make my own hot ketchup.
They sell
Yeah.
it? You think I could find some on Amazon?
Yeah. You make your own. Though.
You can go to Walmart and get.
Make your own hot ketchup.
Is
You
it
don't need
Walmart?
you don't
They
need
do
to-
not sell Whataburger products at Walmart around here.
Dude, no,
Dude,
just don't.
Dave, I bought it.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
swear
make your
to me.
own. Why are you
They
guys?
also had the knockoff Chick-fil-A sauce too, like the Walmart brand. Stuff is
That's
good.
probably worth it.
Just make your own. It's so easy, man. Don't you have to, you can just get regular. No, make your own.
Ketchup and sriracha, just mix it?
Yeah, you can make ketchup and sriracha is great. Ketchup and buffalo is great. You can go different directions to it. All three, if you want to, take a little different direction. Whatever. Throw some horseradish in there if you're feeling real, froggy. Whatever you feel like. Got it covered. Kari, you know I love talking to you, buddy. Have a great day.
See you, Kari.
Yeah. See you guys.
All right. That's Kari Thompson joining us. He does every single Friday. We'll take a break. We'll come back and continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1. Don't miss us.
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gifts for Dad. From now until Father's Day, you'll save big on the classic Carhartt K87 short sleeve tee. Get 2 for $25. Frontier carries every color they make, including this year's brand new colors. All sizes are in stock and on sale, small to 4X. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off too. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains, and has a relaxed fit, giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force at 25% off. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Wrangler, Carhartt, and Ariat. Every pair of khakis, jeans, dungarees, and even FR workwear, $5 off. All Carhartt shorts are 25% off too. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontier has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Hi, I'm Greg Gaston for Window Genie. Window Genie is a trusted name in window cleaning, but they do so much more. They can take care of your home or business. They clean interior and exterior windows with a streak-free guarantee. They clean gutters, do pressure washing and house washing. They can also clean and seal concrete, brick, and natural stone. Locally owned and operated, insured and bonded. Get your free estimate today and ask for the Sports 56 discount. Call 901-424-4100 and leave the dirty work to Window Genie.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levy Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking, no telephone pole to get in your way, a cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Casper's the sleep company with outrageously comfortable products at not-so-outrageous prices. And now you can help Dad upgrade to the comfort of Casper with the Father's Day sale. Save 10% on any mattress order or get $25 off. All you have to do is spend $100 or more on gifts for Dad. This Casper Father's Day sale is going on through June 23rd. The offer excludes bundles, the Element mattress and sale items. Limit one offer per customer and order. See Casper.com/terms.
Hey everybody, are we ready for some hot fun this summertime? Cause I'm out here in Olive Branch looking at all these new All-Star Chevy trucks. You've got more new Silverados out here than you'll find anywhere and for a lot less. Some still have 0 interest for 84 months with GM financing or thousands in cash back for summer. If it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is where you want to be. Come drive one of the new Blazers or Suburbans or just drive both. You can fall in love with more than one. Finance with GM and you could be payment free all summer. And everybody at All-Star Chevy is excited about their pre-owned Chevy collection. It's huge. I'm looking at Tahoes, Malibus, Impalas, Suburbans. They have everything the new ones have, warranties and all, just thousands less. Remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. It's gotta be Olive Branch, people. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job: to make sure you get the best deal, have more fun, and in record time. So find new roads to Kraft Goodman Road in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Girl, you're looking sweeter now. I could love you back in a special way.
Welcome back. Very exciting day today. Love this song. It is, of course, Juneteenth. Hope everybody has a fun celebration planned. Also today, we got our first remote in a while.
Sure do.
How about that, Gabe?
Sure do.
Greg and Eli down at Frontier Western.
Yeah.
Goodman Road, Olive Branch.
Yeah.
Getting out, spreading the wings a little bit.
They are.
Okay.
They are. We are not locked up anymore.
No. So
out
that's
on the town.
That's different. That's a different thing. So cool. Add a little bit of history. It feels strange. It feels like this is just like used to be the norm. You'd say 2 or 3 days a week, but now not so much. So congratulations, excellent, and go out and say hello to the fellas. They'll be out there taking care of business and having some fun coming up 10-1 down at Frontier Western Store on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Now we had mentioned it earlier, and we talked about a little bit about it with Kari. Do you think, Gabe, as a baseball guy, do you think you're going to get a season?
At this point, I lie on the more pessimistic side. I think there's a possibility there will be a season, but
I mean, surely they can't. Surely they can't just. I mean, that would be how dumb would that be to just?
Well, I mean, Rob Manfred is not a. He has shown he will be dumb. He has shown he does not care about being dumb. But like the fact that we're talking about a 60-game season versus 70-game season, and Rob Manfred is out here denying it and saying, "Oh, well, that's not possible given the current climate." But then why is 60 games possible given the current climate?
Exactly.
I don't understand at this point. I mean, it's money, very clearly money, but how much money are we talking about in 10 games in the grand scheme of things? It doesn't seem like 10 games should make or break a deal, but at this point it has, and it's bizarre to me too. Didn't the owners offered a 72-game season not too long ago? I don't get. And Rob Manfred's expressing his sort of distaste with it and just saying like, "Oh, we need to get this over with and get this done." Well, like, get it done then. There's nothing stopping you from getting it done.
That's whatever the financial implications of everything, and I listen. You know, that's how this stuff is always done. There's always financial implications. There's always concerns about all this stuff. These owners are quite wealthy. I recognize that they are losing money like a lot of folks are throughout all the implications economically with the pandemic and everything else, but they're still doing quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Fix it. Whatever the small inconvenience or economic minor hardship you might face in paying the players for an extra 10 games or so, they've already gotten a very advantageous collective bargaining agreement. The one that was signed in 2016 was a win for the owners in most people's eyes. The values of their franchises have continued to rise and rise and rise. They're doing very well for themselves. That extra little prorated 10 games, 1/16 of the salaries is not worth all of this. It's not worth jeopardizing a season. It's not worth running off more fans. You've already run off enough young fans as it is.
And don't get me started on the minor. You're cutting. I have a brother who does sports talk radio in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and they have the Cedar Rapids Colonels out there, the A-ball team, and a lot of these teams are established in the early 1900s, some in the 1800s, and you're pulling those out of those small towns, so you're losing your small town markets, and you're doing it for a short-term money grab, and I just don't get it. I don't get, like, everything that's been done is about money and not about growing the game, actually, which would in turn grow money. So I don't get their thought process in going forward, probably not having a season and cutting all these minor league teams. It's just, it's sad to watch. Nothing's going to bail them out this time. 94, 95, when you got into the season, obviously the strike was then. When you got later into 1998, you got bailed out by home runs, by the steroid era. That's why people still went to the games and watched it on TV, is because of that. And this time around, you're not going to have that to save you. So it's just, I think they think way too short term for a game that's been around for 150 years.
Well,
and also I think I speak for a lot of sports talk radio hosts when I say that it's been a chore to try to follow this. It's too much of a chore. It's not like actually reporting on anything that's substantial and actually written down and going to happen. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo that neither side is going to agree on. So like when we bring it up, it's just like, well, this is not actually going to happen. We're just telling you what they said. And it's just becoming more of a chore than actual talk. The MLB is screwing this up so mightily, and it's just going to be so devastating for the game. And it's bizarre to me that we're at a point where 10 games is really going to make or break a season.
Well, and I think the point that most have made is Rob Manfred is the commissioner. Any kind of difficulty in negotiation, all that stuff, you have to look at both sides of it clearly. But the players, to me, have a much more obvious case. The owners here, it is incumbent upon them and Manfred as their representative to get this deal done. And because of I guess it started with really Bud Selig, who was the owner and commissioner, and now Manfred. It's become more and more clear that the commissioner is definitely just a puppet of the owners. In the old days, it was the commissioner had the idea of maybe it was sort of the best interest of the game, and I'm going to try to work this thing out. There is none of that now. It is clearly just one-sided.
And you wonder why the NBA has been so successful with Adam Silver is because, well, I think Chris Paul has something to do with it. He's a very strong sort of lead guy with the Players Association. Michelle Roberts is very strong. But I think when you look at it, Rob Manfred just does not ever even try to gauge the players' needs. He never even makes an attempt to gauge what they want. And the difference is so apparent, especially when it comes to labor relations, labor sort of negotiations. It always comes down to him. Obviously, I understand he works for the owners. I understand that, but he has to at some point, and I realize Bud Selig had this problem as well, you have to gauge what your players want and what their needs will be, or you will continue to have these labor strifes and these problems forever. And hopefully they can get past it. But with Rob Manfred there, it won't. I just can't see it getting solved.
It is just such a sad thing to see because, as you mentioned, with minor leagues, so many minor leagues, minor league teams being shut down, and 40 or so franchises at least,
1,000 players losing their jobs,
being just eliminated. These guys are making nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, minor leaguers make nothing. It's
short-term money. It's
not even
money grab.
It's not even. I mean, you're talking. These guys are making like $12,000 a year or something. I mean, it's
$400 a month. It's $600 a month.
It's nothing. And they're just owners who are making hundreds of millions and millions and billions in some cases have that much money and have that much in their wealth at their disposal to worry about this. And to have some of their players and some players in some organizations, step up and pay. That's the pitiful.
Worst thing ever.
That's pitiful, man. To have them step in where you should be doing it's the greed of the owners is going to kill the sport.
The fact that you have the Major League Baseball Players Association, their trust, who is paying $1 million to these minor leaguers who are out of work. I mean, come on. The fact that you have owners with the amount of money to make a actual substantial difference. $1 million between all these guys that have lost their job is probably not that much per person. You have owners that could actually make a substantial difference for these guys while they're out of work, and they just won't. I mean, they refuse to. It's sad to see. It's sad they don't take care of their players. They don't take care of their fans, and it's going to hurt them so badly in the long run, so badly.
Well, and I think you're seeing, like MLS, for example. I mean, they were having the owners were about to really just do something stupid with them and have force a cancellation of their season, and they came to their senses and realized, look, we're trying to grow this thing. This thing's on the way up. Soccer's on the way up. MLS on the way up. Let's not just blast our foot off completely, acting like idiots here. And they figured it out. Baseball still hasn't figured this thing out.
Well, and with the MLS, they probably are looking at what the MLB's doing, and they see somewhat of an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And they're like, okay, we can slide in and actually become a brand name in the U.S. because the MLB is completely shutting themselves off, and it's sad to see because, I mean, this is something I grew up on being from St. Louis. I was lucky enough to have a Major League Baseball team in town, but a lot of these other people in small towns, like here, you have the Redbirds. You don't really have a team to necessarily root on. And not to mention all the blackouts across the country that the MLB has forced upon these small towns. Like, again, I'll bring up Cedar Rapids. They've a lot of Cubs fans, a lot of Cardinals fans there, but they black out their games. Again, you keep alienating fans, and eventually fans are going to revolt, and eventually fans are going to stop watching and stop paying for your product. That's just how it works. And until Rob Manfred, these owners, and the MLB can grasp that, it's going to be a steady decline. And I brought it up. In 1998, they got saved by the home run. I don't see anything on the other side of next year's labor negotiations that can save them and bring them out of that hole. Now, obviously, I can't see to the future, but it just doesn't seem like anything can bring them out of that hole. And it's
it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at this point. We'll come back. A few other controversial subjects we're going to bring up here in the last little bit as we wrap up this edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Peter and Gabe with you, along with Zach, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wallo and Stats. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
It's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale. For a limited time only, trade in your old clubs and receive a 50% bonus traded towards any tailor-made inline golf clubs. All Nike, Adidas, Puma, and Under Armour apparel is now 25% off. Check out the Bushnell Tour V5 rangefinder, which measures up to 400 yards to the flag. And introducing Bushnell's Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale going on now. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Golf is back, and DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, is putting you in the center of the action. It's easy to play. Just pick 6 golfers, stay under the salary cap, and submit your lineup before the tournament tees off on Thursday. Download the DraftKings app now and use code HERD. This week, DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. That's code HERD, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
bouncing on this Juneteenth? We certainly are. Funky Friday.
Rack City Zach on the ones and twos.
Always. Always. I'm Peter. He's Gabe in for CJ. Hey, everybody. Is CJ going to get mad if I do hey, everybody?
I don't think so.
He's not here?
Because he's not here.
Hey,
but maybe it should
it's an
go
honor.
unsaid.
I'm honoring.
Maybe it should, yeah, okay.
It's an honor. I'm honoring.
If you put it that way.
CJ,
But, you know, if
it's a
he's
tribute.
not here, maybe normally it should just go unsaid until he gets back. That's why I didn't steal the thunder this morning.
It's a tribute. I'm you know, it's an honor. It's an honorary thing. It's not I'm not stealing it. I'm not stealing your gimmick, CJ. Just so you know.
It's a gimmick now.
It's a wrestling gimmick in the wrestling term. Everybody's got their gimmick. Got your gimmick. She got your thing. You know. I got my hair is my gimmick. Everybody's got your gimmick.
Big head.
Yeah,
Gimmick.
big head. That's my big head gimmick. All that stuff.
Big head gang.
We are the big head boys. If we were tag
You
team.
do not want to take a headbutt from me or Peter.
No. The double
You don't
headbutt
want
would
it.
just crush your skull completely. Speaking of which, we got the smaller head boys going to be down at Frontier Western, the first remote we've had in a while. Excited about that. Frontier Western store, Goodman Road, Olive Branch, 10 to 1. Go see them. They've got all kinds of fun stuff coming your way, and it's a great thing. So I'm happy that we're back out there and doing all that. This hour of the program brought to you by Acura of Memphis. You can find them online at AcuraofMemphis.com. Whether you want to see them in person or go online, you can take care of them, and they take care of you. It's really a kind of a creative time, obviously, for a lot of businesses out there, and so they've opened up and changed some of the ways that they've done things. So they have now opportunities for you to virtually tour all the cars, the great sedans, SUVs, whatever you want. They can take you through it virtually. They can take you on a virtual trip, no problem, and then they can deliver it to you. So no problem. Just you want the house, boom, no extra charge, no nothing. So the whole transaction can be done remotely, can be done without even being there in person. Or if you want to go and see them at 385 in Ridgeway, they're right there for you. And ready to go. Either way, you can check it out at Acura of Memphis. An interesting story. We talked about the racial discussions that are taking place throughout the country, and a lot of really thoughtful, important deliberations into why things are the way they are is happening around the country. And because of that, you were seeing a lot of players, black players, most notably, pay attention and say, hey, wait a second. There's some of these songs that we sing, some of these chants, some of these things have some extremely questionable histories, and we need to talk about it. We need to deal with it. One of the things that has came up yesterday, the University of Florida, ending its Gator Bait cheer at football games and other sporting events because of the racial connotations and the past. And if you explore the history of the chant, it's pretty bad. Now, most people, modern times, probably didn't put two and two together on that.
Yeah.
But because of where it came from and because of what's happening, Florida ending it and getting out in front of the issue. They will discontinue the use of the cheer. I think it's going to be there's going to be a lot of this in college sports, especially. When you start looking at the history of some of these names, some of these chants.
Yeah, I was going to say, you look up some of
There's
the
a lot.
college names, like whatever, the journalism building's named after someone, and if that person is questionable, that needs to be changed. That's just, I thought DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson, and other guys that put together that petition to change the John C. Calhoun building, that was fantastic. There's going to be more of that. We are going to continue to see that.
Well, and then you're going to have to start looking at. We mentioned the flag in the state of Mississippi, potentially the flag in the state of Georgia, other flags around the country. The Fighting Tigers at LSU, that was named after a Confederate battle group. A group of soldiers.
So as far as the Mississippi thing goes, they said the SEC, Greg Sankey, they said that he didn't really say point blank that they're not going to have championship events, but he insinuated it more or less. Right. But how many championship events are actually in Mississippi?
Haven't had one since 2016, but
that's what I was thinking.
So just very interesting discussions to be had there. nonetheless. We got to get out of here. We're going to do that with Lift Every Voice and Sing, Black National Anthem, in honor of Juneteenth, of course. And big thanks to Gabe.
Man, thanks for having me in.
Absolutely. I had a lot of fun. Zach?
As always,
my friend. Everybody, enjoy today. We'll talk to you on Monday.